That's the Saxon Tower there, one of the oldest buildings in Oxford. Well, Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV, and welcome to this, a new video in which I'm off on another adventure. This time I'm going to another conference. Yeah, I go to loads of them, and I've got loads coming up as well. This one is called Contact in the Desert, and it is in a place called Indian Wells, shortly to be renamed Native American Wells, in California, USA. And so if you want to accompany me, we'll go there now. But first things first, I'll just show you a little bit more about the event I'm going to. And this is the event I'm going to. Contact in the Desert, Conscious Contact. May the 30th to June the 3rd. This is the 10-year anniversary, the world's leading UFO UAP conference. This is a beacon of intellectual discourse dedicated to exploring the frontiers of knowledge in UAP. Artificial intelligence, the future of technology and space travel. Non-human intelligence, spirituality, health and wellness. It's similar to Stairway to the Stars, which I went to in Las Vegas, although this one is more UFO focused. The other one is more it's more variety. But you know, I quite like UFO conferences on their own. So here we go down here. See, kicks off in just 2 days, 6 hours, 45 minutes, 2 seconds. Yeah, countdown. You can watch it on live stream if you like. Well, unlimited replay package. Yeah, that's not live stream as such. But let's have a look at the speakers. Robert E. Grant. I don't know all these people. Richard Dolan, of course. George Knapp. Yeah. Oops. Here we go. We're looking at the full speakers list when it opens. And here we are. We are thrilled to announce a lineup of speakers. Yeah, and literally, I think anyone who's anyone will be here. George Norrie, of course. George Knapp is going to be there. Now, George Knapp wasn't at Stairway to the Stars, which was a disappointment. I assumed he would turn up because he's a local man. He lives in the area, but he didn't show up. Robert E. Grant. I don't know all these people. Avi Loeb, of course I know. Everyone knows him now because he's the Oumuamua guy there. He's staked his reputation on, and he's now searching for pieces of a spaceship at the bottom of the sea. Thomas Jane, don't know him. Richard Dolan, of course. Nick Pope, who you still can't have a UFO conference without Nick Pope, can you? Daniel Sheehan, Whitley Strieber, Travis Walton, hey, good. These guys in particular, I think, are very, very brave, and I very respect them. These last three. Jimmy Church, of course. Matthew James B. Andrew Collins, Ancient Mystery Guys. William Henry, Dave Foley. Tom Sweeler, LMH, still going strong, 82 years old, still going strong. Good for her. Clyde Lewis, Russell Targ. Now that guy, he was the colleague of Hal Puthoff in the early 70s with the Stanford Research Psychic Spies program. He'll be able to tell a story or two. Caroline Corey, who directed A Hole in the Sky. Sorry, Tear in the Sky. I hope she'll be. Well, she wasn't there for her showing at Stairway. Hope she'll hang around this time. Brad Olson, Ryan Wood, author. Anthony Peake. Ryan Wood writes about UFOs and things. Anthony Peake is a consciousness researcher. Paul Hynek, son of Jay Allen. Steve, of course, you've got to have Steve, haven't you? Yay, I look forward to seeing him. JJ Zazire Hurtak. I haven't seen them since bloody... It was a 2008 thing in Glastonbury. Ross Hemsworth did. Yeah. Mark Jones. I don't know all these people. Daniel Brinkley is a experiencer of NDEs. He's actually had a near-death experience, and now he researches them. Adam Apollo, don't know. Jason Quitt. Michael Schratt is a secret space program person who studies essentially back-engineered alien reproduction vehicles. Mitch Randall, Richard Gildrich, Peter Gavenport, Paul H. Smith, Yvonne Smith, Tracy Garbutt Dolan, who is of course married to Richard Dolan. I think that photograph there tells you an awful lot about the kind of man Richard Dolan is. You can probably guess he's not the best company just by looking at that photo, can't you? Dee Wallace, Alexis Brooks, Lisa Gar. Oh, she was... Yes, host to host, yes. Kim Carlsberg, saw her last time at Stairway. She's an experiencer, photographer. Sarah Breckman Cosby, don't know her. Adam Curry, don't know him. John P. Milton, Dwayne Ollinger, Timothy Hogan, Alan Steinfeld, Ben Hansen. Oh, he's the guy. This guy's, I think he's ex-CIA, and he does research into Roswell and stuff. Michael Sedona. Look at that hair, man. That's wicked. Don't know any of these people. Don't know any of these people. Oh, Kelly Chase. She does a really good. She does UFO Rabbit Hole, and she's very good on Twitter. I follow her on Twitter. So she does like loads of. It's a really good podcast actually. Her take on the disclosure thing is very good. Let's have a look. Don't know any of these people. Serena DC. Isn't that Billy Carson's wife? I don't know. Last podcast on the left. I thought that was Kevin Logan. Don't know these people. Darcy Weir. Oh, he's speaking. I don't know he's speaking. Good on him. I'm hoping to meet him there. I know that guy quite well. I've interviewed him loads of times. Captain Ron. That's a good name, isn't it? He appears on several shows. I've seen him. Don't know any of these people. Yeah, so looking forward to that enormously. Yes, should be fun. Got to get there first, though. Let's see how we go. Let's head there and find out what happens. This is where you get the coach to the airport, but looks like I just missed one. Not a problem. They get quite regular. I've packed all the stuff I need. I mean, if I made a list of things, I made a list, but I've added a couple of items. I had to subtract a couple too. One thing I added was prayer beads. The reason was I was contacting my friend at the airline who's sorting all this out for me, the guy who works for an airline. I told you previously about why I can travel there so cheaply, and he said, oh, you arranged our seats and everything. I says, is our plane a Boeing? And he says, yes. If you're watching this, it means that I lived through this experience. All right. So, anyway, it could be worse. We're not flying Malaysian, so that's otherwise Ashton Forbes would be wondering where we were and looking for videos of us from satellites. But either that or missiles from eastern Ukraine would have downed us. God knows. But anyway, that's the next thing we're going to do. You know, I'm actually not. The plane doesn't leave till tomorrow. But it's early. It's not early in the morning. It's 10 a.m. It's now Tuesday evening, the evening before Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to go to the airport early. The reason I'm going to the airport this evening and I'm going to stay overnight. I'm staying overnight in a hotel. The reason is, I mean, that's not cheap. It's £95, but it's worth it, I think, because otherwise I'd have to get up in the middle of the bleeding night to get to the airport. I'm not doing that. So I decided I'll go the evening before and just stay over. But the previous flight wasn't so bad because it was an afternoon flight. This one's a morning. It's that's all right. I mean, according to my friend, it won't be as busy, it won't be as crowded. So that'll be out. And there'll be light. You want to see out, see things. And so that's good. But in the meantime, everything's looking all right. Everything's set. I've got everything I need, I think. So, except I've lost my US plug adapter. I can't believe it. I bought that in Las Vegas specially, and I kept it because I thought I might be going back. And I don't know where I bloody put it. Oh, let's get another one. It's like they're only a few pounds, but these little things niggle. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're familiar with that feeling that something niggles, a small thing niggles. Anyway, and I've got the usual jitters about leaving home, about leaving my family. I mean, my daughter especially. As I said before, it's irrational. It's irrational. I mean, in terms of travel time, it's door to door. It took longer to get to. It actually took longer to get to the Isle of Man than it's going to take me to get to Los Angeles, but because that's where I'm flying to. I'm flying to Los Angeles, but it's just a feeling of being further away, being on another continent, being a significant way around the world, away from her. And I am very protective of her, and I mean, she's not a kid. She'll be 30 soon. I mean, she's not a little kid, but that's just how I feel about her, because she's still my little baby. I can't help thinking that way. Anyway, just gonna wait for the next coach now. Okay, guys, we're off. Goodbye, Oxford. For another back in 8 days, hopefully. Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Hey, great, we're off to a good start. We made it past the Castle Mound this time. Computer says yes. And the first thing you see when you get into the airport is a giant basketball. Oh, well everyone, welcome back to Heathrow Airport. I'm here again. This is the bit I was in before. There's the car park there. That's the bus station. There's the Hilton up there. Hilton. Paris is probably not flying a flag, so Paris is probably not in. Someone drops by. You can see the flag above the roof as she's drying her one pair of knickers on the radiator. But yeah, I'm here. I'm getting ready. Well, I'm very early. In fact, I'm 16 hours early. But better early than late, as they say. I'm properly attired. I've got my Roswell's 75 Years of Secrecy hat. I've got my UFO Jesus t-shirt there, you can just see. And look, I didn't forget this time. I didn't forget. I wasn't going to be so stupid as to forget again, guys. Yes, I have my case here, which I'm taking with me. Yes. Oh, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. But I mean, as I said in the, I did say in like the follow-up in the Stairway to the Stars follow-up thing, the Meadows, Meadows update, or whatever it was called, Meadows Revisited. I did manage to get my bag back. It wasn't this one, it was another one. I did manage to get my bag back from Oxford Bus Company. They kept it in their lost property till I returned, so that's good. And I'm just going to go back to the chapel. If you remember, when I came here last, we went to have a look at the chapel. I couldn't get in, so I'm going to go there now and see if we can get into the chapel. But if not, I just thought I'd have a wander around. As I said, airports are very interesting places to wander around. If you're there early, they're very interesting places to explore. And last time I was here, we did a lot of exploring. We're going to do some again. Chapel of St. George. There we are. Right. So, and there's some things there for seek, and you will find. Knock on the door, and it will be open for you. Matthew 7:7. Garden of Remembrance. Here we said there are a number of people here who died. A number of staff members and aviation enthusiasts and people like that who died. Yeah. So I showed you that last time. It's shut again. There you go. I hope that's not symbolic, like I saw a film once about there's this girl who turned really nasty after her brother was injured, and then she's trying to get into this church and she can't get in, and it's like symbolic, but I don't think that's the type this time. Anyway, if you want to come in, you can see that's where there's mass terminal prayer rooms. There's mass internal prayer rooms, and there's different services here. You can see. You can speak to the chaplain there if you want. And so, there's no wheelchair ramp or anything. It's just some stairs, and maybe a disabled entrance. Actually, I don't know. But anyway, it's worth coming over to see if it was open. On the way back, I'll just be tired and jet lagged, and I want to get home, so I won't come back here on the way back. But I just thought I'd do that, and now I'm going to head off. Now, what I've got to do now is I've got to get to Terminal 4 because that's where my hotel is. It's the Premier Inn, and there's no rush. Like I said, I can check in any time really, and it's not really. Like I said, I don't know. We're flying from Terminal 5 this time. I showed you Terminal 5. Do you remember I visited it last time? This time we're flying from that terminal. And if you're flying British Airways Intercontinental, usually you fly from Terminals 3 or 5. So this time it's 5, which has been interesting. I've not flown from 5 before. So it'll be interesting to see it. Terminal 4 I'm familiar with because when my grandmother used to come and visit from the Netherlands, she always used to, I remember she always used to come over by plane, and she flew a KLM. She was a Dutch lady, and she'd fly over from Amsterdam Schiphol, just a 1 hour flight, but she was too lazy to get the ferry, and it's always Terminal 4 for KLM in those days. Alright my guys, my friends, we're just going to head over here. Now, I'm not going to go around the outside to Terminal 3. I've got to go to Terminal 3 because I've got to get the Elizabeth line. But because I've got my trusty little Rover here, I'm going to go the more conventional route, I think. because otherwise I'm going to go the more conventional route, because otherwise it's you know, it's just awkward with the case, you know, the uneven ground and crossings and things like that. You mentioned I've got a little label on there with my name. You can't. I'm not going to hold it too close, because it's got my phone number on it, and I don't want lots of you know, fans phoning me up and saying how much they want to sleep with me and things like that. So I don't want any of that. But it's just got my name. It says LHR to LAX. That's the route I'm going. And my phone number. I'm not going to put my address on there, because otherwise every burglar in the country will be heading there right now. I can cross over here. So what are you doing, man? So although Ahmet and Hossan will probably give them what for, but anyway, it's actually quite crowded here at the bus station to get through. But anyway, I've got to get to the Elizabeth line now. I'm in the underground there. That's where the secret alien base is. That's the entrance. Got to go this way. There we are. I'm going to try to risk the attempt to do my usual, you know. I can't resist it. What's this? Sorry, temporary out of service. It's not. You've got to walk. It's not good enough, I tell you. It's not good enough. Oh, here we go then. I'm an ex-hospital porter time again. Okay, we're back here again in this tunnel. We were here last time when I had time to go and visit Terminal 5, but this time I'm going to Terminal 4. I have 8 minutes to wait. It's not bad. It's very spooky, isn't it? It's not as brightly lit as the London Underground. It just seems a bit busier this time. But there's no separate coaches, it just goes all the way through to have these like connections here. But anyway, it's hot down here. Actually, I take my jumper off, and my glasses keep slipping off when I get hot. Well, this is Terminal 4, ladies and gentlemen. I've not been in here since I was a kid. I think this was built in the 80s, actually, this. I just picked my grandmother up, like I said. And now I've got to try and find a hotel. It shouldn't be difficult. Because I checked out on a map. I've got to go out here to the exit. It is a real maze, actually, getting around these places. It really is. And there are these posters everywhere, like this. You see, this is welcome. These welcome posters. This is Garrison Sergeant Major William Watt, OBFE. There he is. And there's others as well. There's like a policewoman, and there's a crier, and there's a underground train driver. We have these all over the airport. Here we go, this way. Right. Alright, now I think I'm going to have to consult a map. Otherwise I'll go that way. Car park, here's the car park, I think. Alright, I'll find my way, I'm sure. Okay, I got a bit lost, but I had to ask directions. Yeah, men do that sometimes. And now they've given me directions to get here to this, along this like tunnel. It's actually outdoors, and then we're going to head for the Premier Inn. Okay guys, I made it. I'm here in the Premier Inn. It's called the Premier Inn. It's actually called. This is called a Premier Plus room, although it's just a standard room. I don't know why they call it Plus. I don't know where the Plus comes into it. But anyway, I'm here. It's quite a hot and bothered journey. My glasses keep slipping off when I'm hot. If I'm wearing them, I'm going to have to have one of those little what do you call them? Restraints that go around the back of your head, like athletes wear. I'm going to think I'm going to have one of those. Anyway, I'll do a quick tour of the room. First thing, the view. I'm on the top floor, number 7. There's not much to see out here, unfortunately. There's a little courtyard down there, but you get there's the radar. There's the radar beaming its beams into my head, or maybe it's just there's the primary radar and the secondary radar. Looking for transponders from H317. That. Yeah. But anyway, let's have a look around here. Nice bed. You put your feet up there on that chair, it's like an easy chair. The goggle box, of course, and this is the artwork. Now it says here, it said in the introductory package they specifically feature, what is it? This is by Carl Sexton, it's untitled, unless that is the title. The stunning piece featured in Local Art Stories, our debut exhibition from Project Artworks in collaboration with the Premier Inn. And this is it. It's a sort of abstract piece. That they specifically said in the introductory pack is these artists are all what they call neurodivergent, as in they have mental illnesses of various kinds. It's pretty. I mean, it's got nice colours and things. Obviously, it's abstract, isn't it? It's not a shape. It's not representation of anything, but it's quite nice. And here is a nice shower. It's better than Travelodge. You get these things here. Very nice here. And then it's a it's kind of a psycho shower attached to the ceiling, but it's not the end of the world. And all these other things. So now basically it's about 6:30 in the evening. I can't get a phone signal. I'm gonna have to, that's annoying. That I've got no phone signal at all, which is a pain. I'll have to go and see, locate somewhere I can find something, because I need to get in touch with my friends. I need to be able to talk to my friends and just tell them I've got no phone signal in my room, and catch up with them later. But I've got to go and find somewhere to eat. Now I'll go and see what the restaurant is like. I was not going to have breakfast tomorrow, actually, because obviously the Premier Inn breakfast is bloody gorgeous. It's absolutely, phew, it's lovely. But it's very, very nice. However, it's I don't know if they start serving at 5:30. I don't know if it's. I'll have to leave here probably about 6ish, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to my terminal. I'm not sure, so probably not that long. But I'm still a bit sort of like concerned about that. But I'll see how it goes tomorrow. But anyway, I'll have a look at the menu and see what they've got, and then if necessary, I can walk back to the terminal, get some sandwiches from Smith's. But anyway, here I am. As I said earlier, I explained earlier, the flight takes off at 10, which means I need to be sort of in the terminal by about 8. That's where I'm meeting Colin and Mark, and it's the same crowd again. And then we go through security. It takes time to get through security, check your luggage and everything. And so I'll probably leave here a little, but probably 6 at the latest. I don't know if it's worth having a breakfast, especially because they play you with food on the plane. You get loads of food on the plane. But anyway, it's the breakfast at Premier Inn is lovely. It's very good value. This hotel is more expensive than Travelodge, but it's much nicer. It's much posher. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head off. Just have a look at the menu and then decide what I want to do. Take it easy. We test our fire alarm every 12:30. You don't need to do anything. Let's just hope they don't have a fire at Monday 12:30 PM. I'm at the Premier Inn, here in Open Sesame. This is. I'm now going to walk back to Terminal 4 to see if I can find a phone signal. Rather strange building, this. I mean, I'll show you. There's like an emergency exit at the bottom of the stairs. Maybe I'll show it you later. But it's there doesn't seem to be any other entrance leading on to the outside world. It's just the only entrance exit seems to be this one. I might try to get to the car park later. Maybe there's a way out through there. But it seems quite sealed off. Look, even these windows here are covered. It's a bit chilly actually with my t-shirt on. I had dinner. It was a reasonably priced and mediocre meal. Filled the hole, you know, not excellent, but it was alright. And usually that or sandwiches from the Smiths in Terminal 4. So I'm now heading for a little walk around to see if I can get a phone signal somewhere. Now, luckily the Wi-Fi is very good. There's free Wi-Fi at Premier Inn. There was a plane taking off. Free Wi-Fi at Premier Inn. Unlike Travelodge, where you've got to pay for it. It's working perfectly on my phone, but I can't get like a 4G signal, which means no SMS. And the thing is, SMS is primarily how my daughter communicates with me, and so I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm feeling that same sense of discomfort that I felt when I was on the Isle of Man. If you remember, I couldn't get a phone signal at Erie Cushling, So for all this time period, all this time when we were in the house, except when we went into the towns and villages, I was cut off from my family, and that does make me feel uncomfortable. I said earlier, you know, maybe I'm a bit overprotective. Maybe it's because we lost our first child, but I feel uncomfortable when she can't get hold of me and I can't get hold of her. I've learned my mistake from Las Vegas, and I've topped up my phone with an awful lot of credit, so that there's no shortage. I turn my phone away. So there's no way that you know, well, I'll run out of money. I'll have enough to make at least 24 text messages if I have to, because of course my O2 service is not covered in the US. So you know, that's what it looks like out there. Can't see much. The weather looks lousy actually. Doesn't look very good. But the hotel's like a very indoor place. It's all sealed off, you know. Anyway, guys, I'll walk along here, see when I can get a phone signal. I finally managed to get outside. You see that big corridor over there? I think that is actually the corridor I was using to get you to the hotels. You can see there are more hotels. There's the Crown Plaza, the Holiday Inn. I'm glad there's this parapet over the top of the Terminal 4 entrance, because it's actually been raining quite hard. When I was in that little passageway, I could hear it hammering on the roof. I just had a little breath of fresh air before I go back to my room. As far as it was really weird. Look, literally just after I finished speaking to you last, I checked my phone and it was 4 bars of 4G, and I don't quite get that. I'd walked literally 200 yards from the hotel along that corridor, and I got 4 bars of 4G. You go inside the corridor, nothing. Very, very strange. Very strange indeed. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna weather forecast doesn't look too bad though, actually. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, the wind's not too bad. I think planes aren't disturbed by wind really. I mean, as I said, there's always flight delays are always a bugger. You know, if you have a flight delay and you've got to wait 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, it's always really annoying. However, wind is the problem with planes. I don't think they mind rain. There's some planes over here. Let's go and have a look. Yes, wind is the problem with planes. They don't mind the rain. There's a lot of police around actually at the moment. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, I'm just going to walk over here and we'll have a look at the plane. Is that Malaysia? Oh my god. That's Malaysian Airlines, I think. Don't know if you can hear me, there's still a bit of wind. I think that might be Malaysian Airlines. Ashton Forbes. Ashton, I found MH370. But yes, I believe that is Malaysian Airlines. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a bit windy. Don't know how much you can hear me. I'll try and shout. I remember the... Oh no, it's not. It's China Eastern. Apologies. China Eastern. Yes, it is. All right, guys. And that behind it is Israeli. I think it's El Al plane. Probably El Al, which is Israel's national carrier. Yeah, you see? Oh, got more police. Jesus. China Eastern, there you go. Alright. It's not Malaysian Airlines. The tail, the livery on the tail look very similar. Alright guys, I'm going to walk back and go to my room. As always, you know, I've got books to read. Like I said, I hope the flight doesn't get delayed. If it does, I've got books to read, I've got my earphones, things like that. Always do that when you're flying. Bring things to keep yourself entertained, just in case there are delays to your flight. But so far so good. And that's that radar dish you see there in the distance. I think that was what I can see from my bedroom. Okay, see you later. I'm just going to show you an example of what I mean about this building. It seems to be completely geared towards like the airport. So for example, here's the door. You can't get out unless it's an emergency. That's the only way of getting out onto the ground level, into the open air on the ground. I'll show you. There's a window here. You can't get down from there. It's almost like something Tartarian. It's all like 3-4 feet above the ground. It reminds me a bit of my descriptions of the big buildings at Cardiff Bay in Evansland. Alright guys, well, I'm back in my room. I've managed to log into Facebook on my laptop using the using the Wi-Fi. Now, because it's a new device, Facebook is very, very good. It's good they do this, actually. They said they couldn't log me in until they'd sent me a special code by SMS on my phone. Problem is, I couldn't get a phone signal. So I had to go all the way down out of the hotel onto the bridge again to pick up the phone signal so I could get the code through SMS to come back to my room to log into Facebook. But it's done now and I've saved all the details, so that's good. So people can reach me, my daughter can reach me, and also my friends who I'm flying with tomorrow, Mark and Colin. So all's well. So any problems, I'll know about it, they'll let me know. So it's almost 9 PM now, it's still light out there. Cloudy but not raining. A forecast weather, there's no severe weather warnings or anything, so shouldn't be a problem. Weather shouldn't be a problem for the flight. Fingers crossed nothing else goes wrong. It is a Boeing, remember, but better they detect the problems on the ground than in the air. Now, one thing I do like about the bathroom, this light is very attractive. I like the way it does that. It's really, really good. It's yeah, might have a shower or a bath, I think, soon. I can use it for free. It's actually growing on me, this. It's actually making me feel quite good, this picture. This picture by Carl Sexton. It's nice. I mean, neurodivergent, I mean, is a kind of word, it's a buzzword now, but it just means people who, these words like autism and things like that. It's starting to look to me actually a bit representation. It's starting to look like jellyfish in these little white things like jellyfish in a sort of pond or coral reef. I mean, neurodivergent is what David Grush is, and he's high functioning autistic, and look what he's achieved. I think probably what am I? I mean, I'm not exactly normal, am I? I don't know what sort of neurodivergence I have, but I have something like it, something. I don't think like most people, I think. I am different. I mean, I find some people's behaviour incomprehensible, and I feel I have nothing in common with them. And maybe because literally I think differently to most people, I think. I'm not being arrogant and saying I'm better than them, it's just I'm different. It's starting to get dark at last. It's almost 10 PM now. I probably will go to bed quite early because I'm going to be up quite early. One good thing I forgot to mention about Premier Inn, I don't know if it's the same for all of them, but certainly for this one, it's not cashless. It's not. I've bitten the bullet. I brought my bank card with me. I don't like doing that, but it's probably going to be necessary when I get over to the States, because I've been doing a bit of research and I found out that this particular resort is particularly bad for cashless stuff. But I'll pay for cash whenever I can, and I paid for cash with my dinner and it was no problem. So that's a plus mark. That's a thumbs up there in that respect for Premier Inn Heathrow Terminal 4. Well, good morning everyone. It's about 5:30 in the morning. The radar is still turning, still sweeping the skies, and it's completely bright this time of year. This time of year, of course, it's at the end of May, and it's completely daylight in this country at this time of the morning. Yeah, I was just admiring the view, or looking into the courtyard. There's like some underground rooms there. Let's see what it looks like. Anyway, I slept pretty badly. This is often the case when I'm going to be going away somewhere. I get excited, you know. What's happening now with my computer? Yeah, I've just been watching that. I'm looking another look at this painting, and the more I look at it, see, it's interesting with these abstract pieces. The more I look at it, the more it seems to mean something. For example, you may not, I didn't spot this originally, but it actually does have perspective. Do you notice it's kind of like the white sort of like jellyfish things at the front, and you get these darker things, darker sort of shapes at the back. There's these pink and yellow blobs behind, and then behind that there's darkness with the black bits, you know, and they get smaller. Do you notice there's like smaller pieces in between? So there's like a perspective here. It's almost like you're looking through different layers, and at the back there's like darkness. Interesting, that, isn't it? It's interesting, yeah. Been watching this. This is the Vetted. This is a good channel, actually, Vetted. But I've watched the actual interview which he's analysing, which is the one with Danny Sheehan on. I can't remember the channel. It's this Welsh guy, very young guy, Welsh. He comes from South Wales. He comes from Swansea area, I'd say, by his accent. And this is what Danny Sheehan is now saying. Something interesting. He's saying that disclosure will be on October the 18th. The reason he's saying that is because it's 300 days from the signing of the NDAA, and he says that it's, despite the fact that the Schumer Amendment was repealed, it still contains the clause necessary, and it was signed on. He said it was signed on the 21st of December or something, which means that's 300 days later is October the 18th, which is not bad. October the 18th. It's a few days after my birthday, so it'll be nice if that's true. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, disclosure on October the 18th. I did put it down in my diary when I first heard about this. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm tempted to have the breakfast, but the breakfast here in Premier Inn is very nice. It's only like about tenner, and it's like an unlimited buffet. It's very nice, but I think I'll skip it. I mean, they feed us on the plane really well. I mean, they really, get there. So I can skip breakfast this morning. Had a good dinner. Just got to go make sure the other guys are awake now. They're staying over in Kingston. So I'm just going to text them if I can get a signal, and because the signal is kind of intermittent, it comes and goes, and make sure they're awake. Well, I managed to find the departures page. It's Terminal 5 seems to be all British Airways. There's Funchal, San Francisco, Santorini, Naples, Delhi, Milan. But this is us, BA 283, Los Angeles, 10:10. On time so far. And all these planes seem to be on time, which is a good sign. So let's hope that stays. Alright, guys, well, bad news this morning. Last time I went to the US, I remember they brought David Cameron back into government. Do you remember me saying that at the time? Well, guess what? Diane Abbott is now back. She's now back as a Labour MP. Now, this doesn't mean she's going to reach the senior position she did before, but she has had the whip restored to her, so she's back in the Labour Party. She has been sitting in Parliament as an independent since she was suspended. Now, I got the feeling, that the Starmer was looking for an excuse to get rid of her. I mean, the problem is you can't just sack her for obvious reasons. Well, there's an obvious reason, isn't there? Yeah, but she finally stepped over the line. I mean, she's just so sort of like blinkered and full of herself and up herself. She really is. I mean, she mentioned that she didn't think that gypsies and Jews suffered racism the way that black people do, and of course, suddenly, that's the opportunity that Starmer was looking for. I mean, she could say anything she likes about white people, and she has. She's tiraded against white people her entire damn career, saying horrible things about us, and of course, no one could do anything about that. Very few people even want to in government, but now she's then when she goes after the J words, that's when finally people can take action against her. Finally, she's attacked another victim group, basically, and that's the only way they could ever get rid of her. And of course, I think they've been quite glad to, because every time she opens her mouth, she costs Labour 100,000 votes. You may have noticed in the last election she wasn't campaigning at all. I mean, I think they did keep her away from the public eye. This is a woman. She was going to be. She was shadow international development secretary, shadow home secretary. She's actually done loads of cabinet positions, even though she can hardly count the fingers on her bloody hands. She's so thick. And if anyone, whenever she's interviewed, when anyone says anything about her, good or bad, she says, I'm a black woman. And then everyone just shuts up. And because I think she's 70 or 71 years old. And she's still sitting in Parliament. I mean, why the hell doesn't she just retire? Why can't she retire? I mean, there's a part of me that doesn't want her to retire just yet. I think I'd like to see her face if Kemi Badenoch becomes Prime Minister. I really would, because just imagine, she thinks it's her birthright to be the first black woman Prime Minister, and to have Kemi Badenoch beat her to it. And it would be bad enough if it was another Labour lovey, but in this case it's a Tory, and not just any Tory, someone on the far right of the Conservatives. Oh, the look on her face, look on Abbott's face would be just, it would be a portrait, it would be a Mona Lisa. Oh, but just hope that happens one day before she retires. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, you know, she really has exposed herself. I mean, she really did expose herself. She apologised non-stop after she did it, which in her case would probably work. I mean, it wouldn't work if a white person did it, but in her case it probably would work. And it seems to have worked now. After a long investigation, she has had the whip restored, although I think she's not going to be allowed. I don't think she's going to be allowed to contest her seat. I think I think they're now the National Executive of Labour trying to decide whether to let her contest her own seat, or whether they're going to say, look, you can't stand again in Parliament. You can be back in the party, but you can no longer be in the parliamentary party. So if that's the case, they'll choose another candidate for her seat. And she really is somebody who's built a career out of being a black woman. In fact, she was the first black woman MP, and she's never let anyone forget it. It's pretty obvious what she was doing. This came at a time when, you know, there was a lot of the Jewish community was really making a lot of complaints about the way they were being treated by radical Islamists, and Abbott saw this, and she suddenly realised that, you know, some upstart Red Sea pedestrian was trying to get a slice of that lovely, lovely cheesecake that she thinks is all hers. That the victimhood, you know, the left. It is the currency, and it is the delicacy, and it is the manna from heaven of the left. And basically the Jews were after it, and she went, no, this is mine. You get out of the way. And so because she was feeling this way, she said what she did. Oh, but honestly, I mean, I hope to God that the National Executive doesn't let her stand again. I mean, for goodness sake, oh God, please die and retire. For goodness sake, retire. Just why is she still there? Why is she even there? Oh, anyway, let's fingers crossed that'll be all right. And it goes on, ladies and gentlemen. It goes on. Maybe I shouldn't come back. Once I get over there, I shouldn't come back. Angela Rayner, now this is Starmer's deputy. She was in trouble for tax evasion on a house sale because she lived in a council house which she then bought under the Right to Buy scheme, which Labour used to oppose, or supposedly oppose. And she apparently, what happened was she got married to somebody. She got married to this guy, and apparently they were living together in another house, and there's a complicated business about it. But anyway, the police have decided to NFA her. She's facing no further action. Now, is that because she's innocent, or is it because she's Angela Rayner? I don't know. Is it because she's a very powerful political figure? Probably. I mean, it maybe is because it turns out she didn't do it. I don't want to be overly cynical, but unfortunately, I am. So it tends to come out that way. That when you know, senior bureaucrats get into trouble and suddenly the charges just disappear, alarm bells tend to ring. Angela Rayner is she's got this weird look about her. I joked that I thought she was an alien because she does sort of look a bit alien-like. She once said she sounds quite like, she says things that basically probably a male MP wouldn't get away with. So, for example, she said that when she sat on the front bench opposite Boris Johnson, she knew what a lech he was. She knew he was very lecherous. So she'd she'd like flash her knickers at him and things like that. She'd like pull her skirt up and flash her knickers at him and things like that. But what's that? Oh, that's Colin. Colin's awake. Good. And things like that, which of course is very unprofessional. But to be honest, I don't think Boris would give a damn. I think he's got better taste. But it's weird that these things happen when I leave the country. It's almost as like Britain can't manage without me. Anyway, Colin's awake now, so can head. Well, I'm sort of gonna have another. I've got this sort of coffee machine now. I don't know how this bloody thing works. I've got some instructions here. Whoops! Got some instructions here. Apparently, I put water in there. Do I put water in there? I don't know. It just says lift that up. Click. And then you put this. You put one of these in here. Why can't you just have one of those little sachets? I mean, come on. This is the bloody Premier Inn. It's not the Hilton. Anyway, and try and get this to work. Oh, it's got some more detailed instructions here. Good, okay. It's sort of like it's making a noise. There's supposed to be an on-off button, which this didn't have. See, that wasn't on it. I just pressed the large cup. Use a small one, I suppose, for espresso. It's getting hot in this room. I turn the temperature up a bit. Why can't we just have one of those little packets you just pour a kettle into? Oh, good grief. Right, I think that's done. Alright, I've just left the hotel. It's quite chilly actually now when you get out of the hotel. I'm heading for Terminal 5 now. To get there, several ways of getting there. There's a bus that goes, takes about 40 minutes, but I'm going to get the underground. Colin and Mark are awake, and they say they'll probably be there by 7:30. So that's where I'm going now. So now I'm going this way. Yeah, down this tunnel way. So all in all, that hotel's not bad. The room's very easy to control the temperature. You know, you just press a button, it gets hot and cold. Food is average for the evening dinner. Breakfast at Premier Inn though, excellent, superb, very good value, very tasty. But I didn't have one, as you know, I haven't had one. But yeah, just got everything. Yeah, haven't forgotten it again. once I've got it checked in, then it's all right. I just hope they handle it gently. I mean, I was watching this video of a camera that they put a camera on a bag, and it goes along this kind of conveyor belt like a roller coaster. The baggage handlers are supposed to just kick and throw them around, you know, that's the rumour, but it's probably not true. Where have all the crowds gone? Has the lift dropped me off at the secret alien base by mistake? I don't know. Well, it's only about 7:15 in the morning, so maybe things haven't got going yet. But it's sharp. I'm going to have to take my jacket off. Very sharp temperature differential in this place. You know, the temperature when I was going outside across through the passageway, yeah, that was like really cold. Now it's going to get warm now I'm underground, so take my jumper off. Okay, this time I'm on the Heathrow Express. See, it's a different train. It's very smooth. Well, welcome back to Terminal 5. You may remember these from my last visit when I came and had a look at the place. I told you this reminded me of that Duran video, Union of the Snake. And here it is, this huge chamber here. You may remember it from last time. Just got to find Colin and Mark now. You may remember, yeah, you may remember meeting them at Terminal 3 last time. They should be here somewhere. They said they'd be about 7:30, so maybe I'm slightly early. But let's have a look where we're going. 1010 Los Angeles. What's DF mean? Zone D to F. Okay. So you see there, 1010 Los Angeles. I always get the jitters. I always get a bit of jitters when I'm checking in. Because dealing with bureaucrats and officialdom always makes me nervous, being a conspiracy theorist. and always have this kind of feeling, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, has my card been marked? Am I going to be allowed to fly? You know, am I going to be hauled off to Guantanamo or something? I mean, I know that's a bit over the top, but it's just instinctive. You know, it's just habit. I always feel that way. Can't help it. But anyway, I'm just going to wait here. Wait here. This is zone D to F. So Colin and Mark will be somewhere in this area when they arrive. Okay, guys, we're in Terminal 5 now. I've gone through security. It was a bit hectic. I'll tell you more later about the security. Nothing major, but I was pulled over. And but now we're doing the usual. Mark and Colin and I are getting our priorities right and going straight for the booze. We're going for the old sour mash like we did last time, seeing as we are going to the United States. And good news, there is a Wetherspoons here, so but I've changed my money, and I've got there's like a special payment card you can get, so it's a bit cheaper, and I've got one of those, so that's pretty good. So it's basically a modern equivalent of traveller's checks. So I'm afraid I have been a hypocrite. I brought my bank card with me. I think I explained this earlier because there's a lot of cashless stuff around there, but also on the hotel specifies you need to show it at reception, probably because they're worried about you breaking stuff. There we are. Angel's Envy, that's a good one. Jack Daniels, of course. Jameson's. See how cheap it is here? This just shows how much a booze is taxed, isn't it? And this is your whiskey shop here. Look, Kraken Black Spice. Oh, blimey. All this would see a hospital porter through the weekend. I've just been in the smoking area with Mark and Colin. I was nowhere I was going to film in there. There's loads of packets of cigarettes everywhere, all duty free, and they're covered with. I mean, this is why the guys wanted to go in there because they can get them cheap. I don't smoke, of course, but it's covered with pictures of like body parts and cancer and clogged arteries and some woman with an oxygen mask on her face and stuff like that. It's like, and every single cigarette packet is covered with those. I mean, they used to have like this thing, smoking can endanger your health. Right, it used to be like a little box on the packet. Now, the warning sign is the entire packet. It's treating us like we're little kids. And also, I mean, surely you'd think the manufacturers would like take action, because, I mean, imagine you're at a car showroom and you covered it with pictures of dead bodies from car accidents. You know, it's like, it's anti-advertising, you know what I mean? There's a quit smoking helpline thing too. Anyway. Oh my God, I've seen the promised land. It's the Wetherspoons, thank God. Thank God it's an oasis in the desert. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered the promised land. We're in the oasis in the desert. The Wetherspoons are at Terminal 5. What's it called? What's this one called?
This one is called the Crown Rivers.
The Crown Rivers. Do you remember that if you're flying? And you go to Terminal 5 Heathrow. And of course, you know Colin's here with me, as always. And Mark. Hey, Mark.
How are you doing?
The trio are back together. Yeah. We the same guys I went to Stairway to the Stars with are coming to meet the contacts in the desert, which is great. Because we had a blast last time, so hopefully we will this time. So far so good. We got through security. I mean, I was pulled over in security.
We've got Casey Chain. That's really good.
Now, I should give you a few details. It wasn't nothing major. No one planted any heroin in my bag or anything like that.
Right.
But I forgot to take out the moisturiser. I've got a 75 millilitre bottle of moisturiser I need because, as you know, I get dry skin. I knew very well you couldn't get a bigger. If you took a bigger bottle through, they'd throw it away. That's happened when I went to Denmark. So I got a small bottle, 75 mils. Anyway, I forgot to take it out of the bag. And they also wanted to take another look at my laptop, and I don't know why. She took the lady, the security lady, took it away. Well, firstly, she got the strange device like a stick, and she rubbed the stick around the outside of it. I don't know what that's for. Is that testing drugs, Colin?
Well, maybe some sort of like explosive fibres or something. I don't know. Something like that.
There's nothing explosive on my laptop. There's not even any pornography. I promise you. But then she took the laptop away for about 5 minutes, and I was just sitting there waiting. The other guys were sort of like looking at me as to say, Colin said, "Oh, don't worry, it'll be okay." I said, will they fine me or something? And he said no. And Colin is a very useful guy to travel with because he knows airlines basically because he works in that industry. I won't say which airline he works for because any association with me and he wouldn't be working for anymore. But he works in this industry, and he said, don't worry, they just delay you for a little while, and they did. It was the whole thing only took about 10 minutes, and they just handed the laptop back to me, and I thought, and I wasn't going to ask, is that it? I just said, thanks, bye-bye, and then I headed off. But anyway, that is my first little adventure on my journey. Let's hope there's no further mishaps like that, or anything worse. Okay guys, we've had a drink here in the Spoons and taken a couple of selfies for social media. We're going to head for the plane in a minute. Now, apparently we've got to get a bus to the plane. This doesn't often happen, but it's happened to me once when I went to Glasgow. Sometimes they park the plane away from where all the jetways are, and so they're going to put all the passengers on a bus, or several buses, and take them out to the plane. So that's what we're going to be doing in a minute. They'll be boarding actually in a few minutes, so we're going to go and head there now. Being in Club World, we probably get in there first. So we're going to head out to our Boeing and I'll check the wheel. I'll give the wheels a kick, make sure they're not going to fall off, you know, that sort of thing. Just doing the usual WH Smith Nexus check. No. What about FT?
No FT,
no FT or Nexus or FT in Terminal 5 Heathrow. It's really huge. This you see, that's that arch roof. On the other side of the arch roof, you've got the entrance hall, and over there you can see the planes. So now we're going to the gates. I'm following Colin. He always knows where he's going.
What can I say?
Yeah, he's a very useful guy to travel with. Here we are on the lower level, and these buses, you know, the ones that are going to take us to the airplane. She says BA283 Los Angeles. You see on the side there. You probably can't see it very well for the camera, but it does say that. Yeah, it does mean that. Yes.
Did you go to the old part of LA?
Obviously, it's probably within walking distance of the plane, but it's not safe to let people wander around the airport concourse, you know, because of the airport apron, because you'll probably get run over by a taxiing plane, so you have to get on the bus just for safety's sake. But we're going to be boarding any minute now. See the planes over there. We're on the bus now. We're heading for the plane. Hope it's not too far, because you can see it's pretty crowded in here. As you can see out the window.
Oh yeah, you
She can't see much out there. And there's a plane. And we're going out through these stairs here. Can't see much out the windows, but oh, sorry. There we are. We're up those stairs. Right. There's Mark over there, and here's our seats. We're in the posh seats again. This time I'm by a window. I mean, you can't. My view's limited because the wing gets in the way. But, the wing is in the way a bit there. But I still want to do some sky watching, which would be nice. And we've got my own TV screen. It's the same as before. Club World, you know, it's very nice. I'll lift these up, and there's these things in here. Oh, it's not. They're not there this time. Maybe they're in here. Here we are. Bottle of water. It's nice. And these things. I showed you them before because it's the same packet actually from the White Company, exclusively for British Airways. But yeah. And the music's different. They're not playing that. They're not playing the Delibes Flower Dance, which is unusual. You know, the British Airways theme. La 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 la. They're not playing it this time. Colin, huh? It's a bit unusual. They're not playing the flower dance this time. Yeah, that's why I associate with the British Airways. I can't even get this open at the moment. I'll have a look at it later. It's all got packed away for takeoff anyway. There we go. So now we're just basically waiting for takeoff. Get everyone on board. But yeah, alright. If you can afford it, man, get one of these. Look at the legroom on this, man. Oh, look at that. If you can afford it, go Club World, definitely. Honestly, if I didn't know some people, if you know some people in the right places who work for airlines, they can get you these seats dirt cheap. I wouldn't afford them otherwise. So they start at £1,500, and that's 3 times what an economy seat would cost you on this flight. But yeah, so it's not bad, is it? It's always fun to look at the map. It shows you exactly where we are. On here, see? It's like Google Earth. That's where we are, and we're going there at Los Angeles, LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. You can just zoom in like Minecraft, you know. And you see where we are. There we are, guys. We're on our way. We're moving. Just a few minutes late, but that's okay. There we go.
Cabin crew, doors to automatic and cross-check.
You see a little bit of the airport there, all the planes lined up. We're actually on the north side of the airport, see, Terminal 5's there, we went all the way across there. But all the way across there in the bus. I didn't film much from the bus because it's so crowded and you can't see anything out the window. And there's another plane waiting to take off there. I think we're stuck in the queue behind it. There's a little car that like pushes the plane. You've probably seen them on TV. It literally pushes the plane by the nose wheel. Is it airport?
Cabin crew, please now prepare.
There's a safety briefing. Long to get very high actually. It's got a few minutes ago. You see where we are, we're over Reading. Oxford's in our road there. So it's a little bit noisy because it's noisier than the last flight because we're right next to the engine, so it's a little bit of background noise. I can't actually see right now whether or not we're producing chemtrails, but I'll keep an eye out for that. All right. But it's really lovely to see. I love the blue sky above us. You don't often see that, do you? Yeah, we're flying over Wales. I got just about there. Definitely fly right over my old hometown. I was born there, never a split. And here is a VOG. It's actually much smaller than the one on the... This is the Boeing 777. It's actually much smaller than the one on the A350, the one I went on last time. It's like... Again, even more amazing that people actually have sex in rooms like this and think it's something cool. I can't imagine anything more unromantic in my life than having Professor Brian Cox on a sunny balcony. There you go. Anyway, all these things here for you. Yeah. No smoking allowed in here. They've got smoke detectors. No, I don't smoke. I've been looking through the entertainment section, but I can't really see anything I particularly want to watch. So, after resort to a book, I think this is pretty appropriate. Okay, we're over Ireland now. Had a bit of turbulence. You can see some passed over. Just looking in here at the various things I've got. The socks. It's the same as before, eyeshadow, eye shades. And here we have earplugs. Hopefully we'll need them. Alright. Colin, in case I snore and you know you're sharing with me. Earplugs. Yeah, it's Colin's over there and Mark's over there, yeah. And I've got here, what's this? Oh! toothpaste, yeah. Well, it's a strange toothbrush here. Fluoride. That's what they all put in the chemtrails. They put in the toothpaste. You've done that one, Ben. Yeah. And all right. Colin doesn't want it. All right. Here we go. We've got some things here. Spa, Restore, Gentle Moisturise. That'll come in handy. Pulse Point. What's that say? Can't even read that. The writing's too small. And this is Luxury Lip Balm. Those will probably come in handy actually. It's very dry on the plane. Some wine. It's got some, which is nice. I don't know what this is. Cloud. I mean, I haven't seen any UFOs. I've been looking out for them. I've got my glasses here. So you can see we're kind of like, I'll show you the map. We're just, I think we're taking a more southerly route. When we went to Las Vegas, we got a southern to Greenland, Canada. This might seem to be taking a slightly more southerly route, maybe across Newfoundland. Anyway, we've got 9 hours still to go. And I've got a good book. I've just had a lovely meal. And I've had a very interesting discussion with the stewardess, one of the stewardesses. Now, maybe I'll tell you more about it later when we finish dinner, because she'll be back in a minute to serve me the main course. This is my starter. Getting a bit of turbulence, and the seatbelt sign is all you can see. It's like it's going on for about 20 minutes now, and I have to hold my drinks up like this because if I put them down, they'll just spill everywhere. They've had to suspend dinner service. The stewardesses have to strap themselves in, but it's not too bad. Everything's going alright. I mean, it's just part of the weather conditions, you know. At this altitude you get like different airflows, and the pilot just spoke to us and said he's quite confident that it will be over pretty soon. As you can see here, the right now. The wind is kind of wobbling. See whatever. You see the flapper arms. With the flapper arms on edge, you can see it there. Yeah, the wing's wobbling. I know. I've been on planes sitting next to the wing before, and I know that's nothing to worry about. I mean, if you didn't know better, you'd think the wing might be loose and it's going to fall off, but no, it's designed to do that. It's like the shock absorbers on a car. It's designed to sort of wobble like that. Now, one thing, you know where I am right now? It reminds me very much of the Twilight Zone. Have you ever seen the Twilight Zone episode with Captain Kirk? You know, William Shatner, where he's on a plane and he's looking over the wing, and there's a gremlin, you know, this creature from the upper atmosphere crawling along the wing. It's like it's a really good episode. And when they land, they find that it starts to sabotage the engines. When they land, the engineers find that someone has actually sabotaged the engines. It's a good episode if you've not seen that. We're still very bumpy at the moment, so I've been holding these in two hands but I wanted to do a little bit of a video, you know. The stewardess who served me actually, I won't film her, but she's really, it was funny, like, she came up to me, she noticed I was reading the book about Area 51, she may have noticed my t-shirt as well. I've got my hands up. But she said, what are you doing over in LA? And I said, well, we're going to a festival. And she says, what kind of music? And I said, it's not music. And I went, it's about UFOs. And she didn't laugh. She was like, really? She said, oh, really? She's like quite interested. Oh, you know, people keep reporting these things. I think they're real, you know. I said, do you ever see anything, you know, looking out the windows? And she said, we don't have time to do that. We're too busy working. And I said, what about the pilots? And she said, oh, yeah, I speak to the flight crew occasionally, but they never mention anything to me. And I said, well, try talking to them privately, off the record. Buy them a few drinks. You'll be surprised how much you might find out, you know. So it's nice to meet me. She's open-minded. She can laugh, and yeah, that's quite encouraging. Okay, I think we're trying to go halfway across the Atlantic Ocean now. And that's a lovely dinner. It was this pork and vegetable thing with potato. Very nice it was. And I had a starter as well, which is olive white cheese and tomatoes. British Airways, they serve traditional British dishes, which is, I suppose, a bit politically incorrect, but they still do it, which is nice. I haven't seen anything unusual. No UFOs, but I think because my seat is unlike in an economy seat, you're right up next to the window, but in this, because of all this bit here, I can't get as close to the window. I can't sit right up to it. I'll get closer, I'll have a look in a minute. I have to get out of my seat to do so. But I've seen nothing unusual. It's just clouds and it's just like clouds underneath us. It must be cloudy down below. Below the clouds. Up here it's always sunny. It's very cold up here. You can't. Sometimes, I can't see it now, but on the window, between there's two panes. There's like a clear plastic cover, and then there's the window proper beyond it, which is reinforced glass. You can sometimes see little ice crystals forming between the two panes. Even when I was, over Singapore, where it's really hot, at that altitude, it's always really cold. Colin and Mark are engrossed in their own little world, watching movies, things like that. Onto the western coast of Canada. I'm flying over Trevor's house soon, so Trevor, give us a wave. And just 4 hours to go. So I'm flying, but I'm not into it, I'm coming back. So I'm looking to see how it's quite old. We're about to fly over Hudson Bay. All the areas we've flown over since we left the west coast of Ireland have been very remote. First we had the ocean, and now we've got to northern Canada, northwest Canada. We now have the rest of the journey to do and come over the United States, which is more populated. But I'm still bowled over, as I said the last time I did this journey, or a similar one, there's kind of unreality to it. In the sense that I'm flying over something virtual, I don't feel like I've gone anywhere. I mean, the explorers took years to make this journey, crossing the Atlantic, heading out to the Wild West and things like that, 100, 200 years ago. And now it just feels like sit on this plane, it's like teleportation. It would seem miraculous to the original explorers who did this journey, Columbus and people like that. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it makes the world seem smaller in a way, and that's interesting. To enter the United States airspace, and it's just under 3 hours to go, so we're 3/4 of the way through this flight now. It's probably one of the longest flights I've done, actually, maybe slightly short of the one in Singapore. I went to see my brother in Australia, but still it's almost as long as that. And I've got a headache, a real headache. Maybe I had too much wine. But fly anywhere near that, but if we do, I'll let you know. It's lovely, it's like snowy mountains. It's, you can actually see, now we're down there, I'm going sideways. Actually see if you can see. There's something spooky up there, you know, I was always joking about the gremlins and stuff like that, but there is something strange and alien about being this high up. Humans aren't meant to be this high up. We're above the highest mountain here, 36,000 feet. And, you know, of course, the gremlin thing is a story. The gremlins probably originate from early aviators who suffered from altitude sickness. Because, I mean, the gremlins actually went away when aircraft were invented with pressurised cabins. So it probably was something to do with that, or maybe they were just altering their sense of the frequency, the hypoxia altered their sense of perception. You can argue different things about that. But there are other weird things that happen, you know, like Vincent Price. Now, Vincent Price was a very, very famous actor. He starred in horror movies and ghost stories and things like that. And he was on a plane once, a long time ago. This was in the 50s, and there was no, you know, there was no internet, there was no telephones, or any way of knowing what was going on the ground. And he was flying along. You can Google this and find out about it. He was flying along, and he was looking down at the clouds, just like going up now. And he suddenly saw there was some writing on one of the clouds, almost like a neon sign on one of the clouds. It spelled out some words, and those words. And he turned to the man in the seat next to him and says, "Can you see that?" And I says, "No." So only Vincent could see this sign, these words written on the side of a cloud, a big block of a cloud like that. And the words were, "Tyrone Power is dead." Tyrone Power, you may be familiar, was an actor, a contemporary of the Prices. And when he landed, he got out of the airport and he said to someone, "What's all this about Tyrone Power?" He says, "Yeah, Tyrone Power died about an hour ago, and you heard? How did you know? How did you know?" So maybe that explains why Vincent, you know, must have an open mind to this sort of thing. You know? He really did. That's beautiful. I think it's really beautiful. I assume the plane's going to turn at some point, because I'll show you on the map, it's heading straight towards Area 51. You can't fly over Area 51, so the pilot's going to have to turn at some point and go around it, either to the north or to the south. So we'll see what happens. Getting close now. Starting descending. So it's descending now into Los Angeles. To Los Angeles, everyone, and I should have guessed this, but I was thinking about Gareth. Well, welcome to Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen. This is the airport arrival centre. Once again, Nick Pope has failed. Yes, Mark and I, Colin will be back in a minute. He's just gone off to do something, and now we've got to get to the venue. And there's several ways of doing that. We've decided we're going to get a lift, a LYFT car, which is a bit like an Uber, because it'll probably be about the same price and much less fuss. So that's our next step, Colin, to get to Palm Springs, the venue, and our hotel. It's a UFO. Yeah, look. It's like that one on Douglas, you know, the Isle of Man. It looks just like that. It's come to abduct us. I should explain, we got a bus from the airport to this sort of like taxi market. That's not the only way I can describe it. And we're getting we've hired a lift, which is a bit like an Uber. You see, there's an Uber and a lift. A lift cab, which is going to take us to the venue. It's a very long way. It's a long journey, but it's actually not priced. Was it $197? It's not bad for the journey, actually. I split between the three of us. It's probably cheaper than any other way. So we're now just waiting for our Lyft driver to turn up. Well, this is Los Angeles. What do you think of this place, guys? What do you think of LA so far? I know we haven't seen much of it. What do you reckon? Have you been here before?
I have, yeah. Yeah. Last year.
It's sort of modern and yeah. This is where Gareth lived. I know I was talking about Gareth earlier and I couldn't help it, but I was on the plane. But this I never. He lived here. I mean, he's from Wales, but he's an expat Welshman who came here to make his home, live the American dream, and yeah. So it's quite. I couldn't help thinking of him when I arrived here. I wonder what he'd say about me being here. Ben, are you out of your fucking mind? Get to the conference for fuck's sake.
You mean your car doesn't fly?
It does, but I apologize, just not on Wednesday.
Oh dear, that's a bad day then.
I told you came at the wrong time.
No, we were half an hour delay, but I mean, maybe that would have made a difference anyway, I don't know.
I see a lot of these very square buildings here, very sort of like box-like buildings they've got here.
Halfway through.
Everything you're looking at right now is all tech companies or they work for, excuse me, the airlines.
Oh, nice. I saw Boeing back there.
Yeah, they're Northrop Grumman, Boeing, and tech. You got newspaper, you got telephone.
Oh, Los Angeles Times.
There's the Times right there.
Where is Silicon Valley exactly from?
Oh,
here?
that's up in San Jose.
All right.
Yeah, like if we left right now to San Jose, it would take us probably close to 7 or 8 hours.
Oh wow, blimey.
But if we went like at a regular time, we could get there in like less than 5 hours.
Oh, I see. It's I don't fancy. I'm not going to plan on dropping on Bill Gates. There you go.
Bill Gates?
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to knock on his door.
No, I'm not interested in Bill Gates at all. But there is something you might want to look at really quick. We're about to drive, not necessarily by it, but close to it. Say it again?
When we drop off, gets his gas and get some drinks.
So that's the Los Angeles Rams there. That's the Intuit Dome, which is nearly complete, right? Yeah.
And just to let you know that Bruno Mars will be playing there August 1st and August 2nd to do the groundbreaking of, not the groundbreaking, but the grand opening. Yeah.
I've got a friend who lives in Fresno and who's hopefully coming to our event, but she might not, because if it takes so long to drive certain distances, then she might not be able to make it. But,
Well, she could jump on that Amtrak.
Oh, railway.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe that's an idea. I'll suggest it to her.
Is there Amtrak from here to the...
That mountain you're looking at up there, that's actually part of Palm Springs.
Oh, right. That's where we're heading.
You can take a gondola from the bottom of the mountain all the way to the top.
Oh, beautiful, man. It's just lovely.
Warren was on about with you, Ben.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what Larry was talking about, right? That's on Facebook. On Facebook, they've been having a laugh about it. Isn't that lovely? It's just some beautiful scenery around there. It's very mountainous.
I wish it was a little clearer.
You can see there's some haze, yeah, but it's really lovely. Right, I've made it. I'm here, and this is my room. My goodness me. Well, I can't reach the ceiling. I mean, this is kind of like what I'd expect really from Las Vegas. I mean, this is a cheap room here in America where everything seems to be big. But look at the bed. It's a king-size bed. Telephone. The view out the window. I'll show you a bit more of the outside. Looks a bit like Tatooine out there, and it does. I'll show you a bit more of the outside later, but it's really quite an extraordinary place. It's like nowhere I've ever been to before. This is Indian Wells. And it's amazing that Indian Wells is right next door to somewhere called Palm Springs, which is quite famous. It's a famous holiday resort for entertainment. It has been for probably about 100 years. The corridors, I'll show you in a minute, are full of pictures of stars from Hollywood's golden age. Comedians, entertainers, Bob Hope, Frank Sinatra, people like that. It's the very name, actually, they've got names like Palm Springs, Indian Wells. It seems like also you can almost sense moisture in those names. Palm Springs, Indian Wells. It's like a celebration of water. There's actually a ghost town in Nevada called Crystal Springs. It was founded by the Lost 49ers I told you about when I went to Las Vegas. These people who basically went on an oxen train across the deserts, which at the time were unmapped and unknown, to try and find their fortune in the California gold rush. Half of them never made it. But what's interesting about them is they camped out of the area now called Area 51, and they left an inscription, which is why Jerry Freeman, the guy who invaded Area 51, I've told you that story before. But I mean, the very name Crystal Springs, they found this place where there was a spring when they were dying of thirst, and they were about to die of dehydration and basically heat stroke, and they came across this well, and they called it Crystal Springs. It's almost, you can just sense the relief and the celebration that they'd come across it. And this seems the same. I'll show you more of the outside later, but it's very cool in here. We've got air conditioning. When we got out of the car, this Uber we got all the way from Las Vegas, from Los Angeles, sorry, I thought, my God, why have they got a hot air blower underneath this entrance parapet? That's not a hot air blower, that's the outside air. I'm going to go and see the others anyway. They're in a different room. They're in a room down the corridor, so I'll go and see them now. But I'll give you a full room tour later. This is Colin and Mark's room. I won't show you it, it's actually pretty similar to mine, but they've got a much more nicer view. There's a golf course, and look, and you've got the mountains in the background. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. But yeah, we're going to check this place out now. We've got to work out where the venue is as well, how we've got to get there, things like that. These are people. This is the corridor, and you can see this is the tradition of this place. I don't recognise half these people actually. Maybe you do. Maybe older people will remember them. Is that Bob Hope? I think that's a young Angela Lansbury. Don't know who that is. Is that, what's his name? Chuck Berry. That's a young Angela Lansbury. There's one of Cary Grant along here somewhere, which is signed. Where is it? Here, look. Is that Cary Grant? No, it's sorry, but this is the corridor here. It's nice, isn't it? Alright guys, Rhiannon, don't ever come here. He won't like it. It is currently 32 degrees Celsius, and it's about 7:15 in the evening. It peaked today at 38 degrees, and tomorrow it's going to be 38 degrees again. I'm very glad this event is going to be indoors. Despite that, there's lots of green grass and things. It's obviously well irrigated. It reminds me, this place is rather like those cities in the Middle East, those very rich, oil, opulent cities in the Middle East. This is the place I'm at, the Indian Wells Resort Hotel. And isn't it lovely? Look at the sky is beautiful, and this place has a beauty. It does. I mean, look at the colour of the colour of the building stone here. Do you remember me talking about how Lytham St Anne's was kind of like unique? It had this unique colour. The colour of the bricks was kind of like unique to that place. So they've got the sprinklers going. No hosepipe bans around here, you see, Oxford City Council. I said it had a beauty of its own. It was unique. I must say that this does as well. I mean, the colour of the buildings, this sort of sandy stone. It reminds me of Tatooine in Star Wars, an old glory flapping away up there. Palm trees and things everywhere. Looks like there's no crossing here. Oh, he's indicating right. Indian Wells Plaza. What I'm going to do now is I'm doing a dry run for getting to the venue tomorrow, which I think is that one. I think that's it over there. It's called the Esmeralda Resort. And so I'm going to head over there now and see what I can find. But it is, you see I'm sweating already. I'm going to have to get one of those straps for my glasses, you know, these straps you have for glasses. I think I can cross over now. Let's have a look, because these people are waiting. Let's cross over. Okay. There's a zebra crossing here, or pelican. I'm going to get those straps that go behind your head to hold your glasses on. I'm going to have to get them because... The reason is that they keep slipping. When my head gets sweaty, they keep slipping. That's why I don't wear them at work. And I think that's it over there, but I'll let you know when I get closer. But that, I think, is where we're going tomorrow for the venue, all that along there. Using the map on my phone, I think this is definitely it, but I don't know how you get in here. I have to walk around and see if I can find a gate. It seems to be very fortified. I mean, this is stunning, actually. I can't get over this view. The guy who drove us up here, the Uber driver, he was called, or Lyft driver, whatever it's called. He was called William. He was a lovely chap, absolutely lovely man. Really nice. Really nice. He was from the Middle East somewhere, but he had like a very strong kind of New York type accent, and he was really cool. I said, we might see you next week. And he said, yeah, so possibly we'll see him again when we go back on Tuesday. We're here for a long time, actually. It's only Wednesday evening. This is a long excursion, a long adventure, a long mission. Now, how do you get into this place? Well, there's a lake on the other side of that wall, I think, but then I was trying a way of getting in. So I walked all the way up along the wall. It eventually gave way to a forest. There's our place there. It has a kind of like brutalist, sort of like brutalist feel to it, doesn't it? Almost like Middle Eastern architecture. Anyway, I'm going to try and walk along this way. That's definitely the place. But all I see is a blank wall, so I'm going to walk along here and see if I can get in this way. But it's a bit strange. I don't know what's going on. I mean, there has to be an entrance somewhere, but where is it? Can you get to it from... This is Highway 111. Can you get to it from here? I hope so. Isn't that lovely? And there's Renaissance Esmeralda. That's where I'm heading. I think there must be somewhere up here, I think. There's the Indian Wells Golf Resort. They've done a lovely job on the fountains, the gardens and things, I must say. So I'm hoping there's an entrance up here we can use. Got a lovely Palm Avenue here. Here it is, Renaissance, this is it, Renaissance Esmeralda. I think this is it. They've got lovely Palm Avenue here. There's a lake over there. That's why you couldn't get in straight away, because there's a lake. I must say, one thing I noticed about this place, in fact I noticed it when I was driving, we were driving in here with William. You know, we drove through Palm Springs, and there's these big long roads. Maybe I'll show you some of them. It all looks very nice and clean, and the pavements are lovely. Look at these pavements, smooth, no gaps, no holes, nothing to trip on. But I am the first pedestrian I've seen here. There are no other pedestrians here. Literally, I've not seen another pedestrian. Oxford's the opposite. They have loads and loads of pedestrians, but hardly any damn, almost no damn, how do you get in here? This is it. Renaissance Esmeralda. Almost no decent pavements at all. Okay guys, lots of flies around here. Anyway, I think we go in there. The way in for pedestrians. As you see here, they've got this nice triumvirate here. There's the Renaissance Hotels, which is the chain that runs it. Then you have, there's Old Glory on the left, and the flag of California, the Bruin, in the middle. Yeah. Alright guys, that's that sorted. I didn't film in there. I may be able to do that tomorrow. They're just setting everything up. There was a few people in there, just sort of like working, sort of like setting up, putting up posters and things like that. We've got to register on the second floor is when we go in, and that's where we pick up our tickets and stuff like that. And we're going to go back and meet up with Colin and Mark and give them the news now. God, oh God, it's still bloody hot. And you feel it when you come out of the aircon interior. It's almost dark now. I mean, this is it's so peaceful. It's very quiet when you're away from the main road. I can hear the noise of like crickets chirping, and I can very slight wind. No bird song. Not at all. Very quiet. As you can see, like it gets dark very quickly here. I mean, I often said that in deserts it gets very dark, and it's getting dark early as well by our standards. I mean, at this time of year in the UK, as you remember from the hotel, it gets early at it was broad daylight at 5 a.m. virtually, and it's still light sort of 10 p.m. this time of year. But it's now only about, what's the time? It's only about, let's look at the time. It's only about it's gone 8 o'clock, and it's sort of as dark as it would be about 9, 9:30 in the UK. So yeah, here we are. So, right, how do I get out of here? I've even forgotten how to get out. Oh, you've got to go around here. Stop, don't go any further. I didn't see anyone I knew, but I saw some people wearing Contact in the Desert t-shirts and things like that. And I'm sure I did meet this old guy and this young boy. I don't know if they were related. And they said, oh, we have a Contact in the Desert. They saw my t-shirt, and I says, obviously you are. Yeah, so that's good. That's good. Nice. Meet kindred spirits. Met a couple already. And it's not even started yet. Yeah, hey. We're Colin and Mark now. I found my way back. It turns out the nightlife here is virtually zero. I mean, for a place that has pictures of like Barry Manilow and Chuck Berry and all these other stars on the wall, there's almost nothing going on here. The bar's just shut. The bar shuts at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. in the hotel. I know it's nightfall's early here. I mean, it's dark already. It would be this dark about 10 o'clock in the UK this time of year. But because we're further south, you see. But for fuck's sake, and we're going to try and find another place. We're going to go to this other place, but that might well be shut too. So it could be we'll just have to.
Shea Westbury.
Yeah, Shea Westbury, Jameson's, Jack Daniels, and things.
I've got the party speaker.
Yay.
We've got the booze. What do you get a few like that? To be fair, no,
it'll be the Colin and Mark Arms this evening, I think. Okay, Colin and Mark, we found this little place here. What's it called? What's this place called?
It's called
Tommy Bahama, yeah. And they've got a nice little pool bar, and out here we've got a little guy playing a guitar. So yeah, so it's just nice, live music, and it's a pleasant evening. Not a cloud in the sky. I haven't seen any chemtrails, have I? Do you think it's maybe it's just close to the coast? I don't know. I haven't seen any chemtrails. Now, you viewers won't be able to see this, but there are stars out, and a couple of stars. There's a lot of lights around, so you can't see that many, but they're very sharp, and they're very sharp and pinpricky kind of thing. Maybe because the air quality around here is different than where I usually see them. There's less cloud and things like that, so atmospheric haze. But you can't see this, but they are kind of pinpricked stars. There are quite a few that are out at the moment. So I don't see any constellations yet, but as I said, there's a lot of artificial light around me. We've finished at the pub now, we're going back to the hotel. That's in UK time it's the early morning when I'd normally be getting up, and I didn't sleep very well the last time I slept, so hopefully I'll sleep well tonight. And I won't be too jet lagged. Okay, I'm back in my room now. It's about 20 to 10. I'm going to go to bed soon. I will. I'm not going to fret over how much or little I sleep. I'm just going to take it as it comes. I know there's no rush to get up in the morning. We don't have to register until I think it starts at 2, so we're probably registering about 1 or something like that. So I'm not all that bothered. So I'm just going to sleep as sleep may come, and then hopefully feel refreshed and better in the morning. Funnily enough, I feel a strange feeling. I feel as if the ground is tipping up and down. It's like side to side and wobbling. It's like being on a ship at sea. Now, apart from what's weird is apart from that, I feel fine. I don't feel ill. I don't feel dizzy. So I'm a bit confused over why that is. I think it could be, I don't know, it could be just nerves being in a different place. I remember I've only ever had it once before, and that was when I went to Ireland with somebody I never should have gone on holiday with. That's the last time I had it, so I wonder if therein lies a connection. I don't know, because I'm with people I do like being on holiday with. This is Colin and Mark, so strange though. Anyway, night guys, see you in the morning. Hello everyone, it's about 5 AM. I don't know how much you can see through the reflection. Let's see if I switch this light off. Anyway, I woke up about 4. Yeah, I woke up about 4 AM and not bad I suppose, since I went to bed about 10. About past 10, well, about 10, yeah. But there you can see there's less reflection now. As usual, my room is not as good as Colin and Mark's, as in Las Vegas. I just get this look over the street. This road is already quite busy. The 101 highway is already quite busy. But I was just sort of like, I got up and I thought I'd just start the morning early. Yeah, so that's the time in the UK, by the way, 12:50. I've just been watching, put the light back on. There we go. I've been watching a bit of old Ross talking about the Carl Nell thing, so that's a good way to get me into the mood. Oh, and the conference starts today. I got the schedule here actually. I actually downloaded the schedule. There we go. So that's Saturday. Oh, that's Saturday. I mean, obviously I've got to scroll up a bit, but I've got to make a few decisions about what I want to go and see, because everything's in parallel as before, as usual. And it begins on Thursday, and it's tomorrow. This is today now. Today, and it starts. Well, there's some events. Yeah, this is it, Thursday of March, May the 30th, and well, this is there's these different. Mountain View is. I think that might be one of the. Is that the outdoor bit? I don't know. Giant Rock Integration Tour. That's actually got to pay separately for that. I've not bought that. They put a flying saucer there just to fill in the gap, I think. But let's see what's on. And it starts with at 2 o'clock. Really, it starts there. Ufology with Paul Hynek, and then 3 o'clock to 3:55. Physics with Ashley Peak in that room there, the Atlantis room. AI I'll get a bit fed up with, so I might take that opportunity to have dinner or something like that at 4 o'clock. Matthew James Bailey. Oh, if there's nothing else on, I might watch that. And then there's Government Disclosure 101 with Stephen Bassett. Oh, you know I'm going to go and see that, don't you? You know it. Here's some of the ads. Tour the grounds. Katie Page. You're the grounds to get them out the most out of this year's Contact in the Desert. Meet her in the lower lobby. That's Katie Page. Fade to Contact. Must be a special show by old Jim there. A live band. Dirty Queen in the Crystal Ballroom. Live podcast recording. Live from Hollywood. It's Paranormal Tonight with Dan Harari. Oh, right, I've heard of him. Open daily exhibit, Douglas Taylor, Visions, Art, Future. Well, obviously, it seems to be mostly in this Atlantis room today, so that's not really a problem. There's not that many choices. As you see, this is all the Atlantis room. I know it's regularly called out, just that's the name they've given them. It's probably just the names they've given them. That's the Experiencer group, which I'll skip, I think. J. Christopher King. And this is done Friday. Here we go. And it's dining hall breakfast. Okay, well, I'm not staying, so it doesn't count. I'm not a living sort of person. And then Contact with Self Yoga, Nicole Cloud Onions. Nicole Cloud Onions. Oh, sorry. Nicole Cloud Orions. Look how outside. 8 AM, Will Call, Mountain View. Will Call, I think, might be the meditation. 12 PM, Crystal Box Office Will Call. And then 7 AM to 6:30, Esmeralda Box Office. That's the Esmeralda box office is of course the Esmeralda's the name of the hotel. 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. This is in the Crystal Ballroom. Women of Ufology. I'll skip. I'll have a rant about that later, but I'll skip it for now. William Henry lecture, Stargate Egypt. Lost technology of the Star Walkers. Paul Hynek lecture, Bitcoin astronomy. The nexus of UFOs, DMT, and Bitcoin. Oh God, that sounds like the sort of thing Niall Murphy would like. Eric Rankin lecture, decrypting the ancient codes of contact. Obviously, I've got to choose from one of these things. Obviously, Women of Ufology, forget that. Stargate Egypt, or Paul Hynek, or decrypting ancient codes of contact. That's tricky. Don't know which one I'll go to there. 10:30 a.m. to 12:05. Non-human intelligence. Messages from beyond our dimension. Oh, that looks good. Tim Crawford. I don't know all these people. Paul Hynek. Danny and Brinkley is brilliant. Well, he's brilliant. He claims he was cured of psychopathy, by the way, which is the most incredible thing he says. He's an NDE experiencer. He actually was pronounced dead, and the porters took him to the PM suite, and he woke up on the he woke up in the fridge on a tray. Oh God, poor guy. Anthony Peake, yes, Sarah Brexman Cosme, and Dr. Michael Pascal. Very good. Matthew James Bailey, and there's Silicon to Soul, aligning AI with the universe's blueprint. I mean, I think people talk too much about AI right now. I get a bit fed up of hearing about it. Alex Sekiris from Skeptical, it's all he goes on about now is bloody AI. Jason Quinn lecture, Gates of the Anunnaki, Sacred Geometry, Keys to the Gods. Todd Curtis lecture, using the NASA Aviation Safety Reporting System to track UFO events. Right, I'm not sure. Non-human intelligence. See, I like Anthony Peake very much, but I'll be seeing other talks by him. But I'm so tempted to go to this one. I've got to choose one or the other. This is Crystal Ballroom, Inspiration, Atlantis, Enterprise. Right. Then you have we have dining hall, lunch, 3-hour window for lunch, and then I'll come back to I probably won't be hungry. Oops. And then 12:30 to 2:05. Psi from remote viewing, precognition. Tracy Garbutt Dolan. I found it. I mean, I was taking a piss a bit out of her earlier, but I think she's very interesting actually. Paul Smith, JJ Desiree Hurtate, Caroline Corey, Eric Sorani, and Daniel Brinkley. That looks good. Based on the remote viewing thing, the psychic spies. Whitley Streeper, Getting Closer, Want More Contact. That should be right. Yeah. Travis Walton lecture. Oh man, I've got to see that. Timothy Hogan lecture, Alchemy of the Ancient, Rediscovery by the Knights Templar. That sounds like that. I think that lady I saw in Stairway. I think it's going to have to be Travis for this one. Oh no, I'm tempted to go here, but I can't miss Travis. 2:34:05. So this is tomorrow. Paranormal Anomalies. Van Hansen, Dwayne Ollinger, Katie Page. That does look good. I don't know. Linda Moldenhauer, Aerospace UFOs Whistleblower. I've got to see Linda. I can't miss her. She's so cool. And Ian will be there, her sidekick, her secretary, or whatever he is. Oh man, I've got to go to that. She's just so. It's not just what she talks about. She's so cool. She's one of the OGs of this modern UFO world, and she's just so charismatic. Oh, I've got to see her. Mark D'Antonio, How UFOs Travel from There to Here. Interesting, but I can't miss Linda. Same with this one, Jay Anderson lecture, UFOs and the Consciousness Connection. Yeah, it's Linda for that one, definitely. Alright, here's next. And then we have 4:36 for Consciousness Contact, Fusion between Consciousness and the Cosmos. Paul Hynek again. And a load of people I've never heard of. Brad Olson I've heard of. William Henry. Caroline Corey lecture, right, remote viewing other species and planets. Right. She never turned up at her film showing in Stairway without so much as a buy your leave, so we were supposed to have a showing of the film, which I saw, and then she never showed up. She buggered off. Anthony Peake, yeah, I've got to see him. And it's Labyrinth of Time, Enigma of the Past, Present and Future. Yes, that's got to be Anthony, I think. Let's hang on. Ross Waxman lecture, DOA disclosure, finding the truth in a post-truth world. That looks bloody good, it does, but it's got to be Anthony. Live podcast report recording, Down the Rabbit Hole with Kelly Chase. Now that's going to be good. I'll definitely. And that's recording Stir Lounge. Yeah, I've got to go to that. Kelly is very cool, actually. She's a newcomer. She's like a new post 2017 figure, but her Down the Rabbit Hole podcast is bloody good. It really is. Her take on things is excellent. And then we have in the evening special free event versus AI versus human intelligence. But it's Matthew James Bailey again. Yeah, I might skip that. World premiere screaming. The Beyond UFOs a New Reality. I can't read all that one. It's a bit covered over. Plus something. It's not very well printed. J. Christopher King and Kelly Chase at Q&A. Right. Michael Schratt. I'll probably have to go and see that, I think. Cinema Under the Stars. Coneheads. Special event. Ed Larson. Comedy in the Desert. Oh, right. Interdimensional sound bath. That sounds cool. Sonic energy healer. Crystal ball and speaker meet and greet party. Oh, that's from 9 p.m. onwards. By that time, probably Colin and I will be in whatever pub is open. Well, no, not many. Not many seem to be. Party. Friday. That's just. Oh, so what's Friday? Hang on. Wasn't that Friday? This is what's that on? Friday, May the 31st. And this is Friday, May the 31st. Oh, I think this might be this is the workshops, I see, right. Again, dining hall, Will calls. Then Ryan Wood, UFOs, using AI to decipher UFOs. Despite the fact I'm not an AI person, but Dr. Pascal Michael. Again, if you go to these, you have to miss some of the lectures. The thanatological UFO connection. Thanatological has to do with death. Thanatological. Anything with thanato, that's to do with death. So the study of death, UFO continuum. Are the questions of are we alone? Is there an afterlife? Not so different after all. That sounds interesting. If there's something else I'm not into, or I'll skip, I'll go to that. Crystals. Oh, right, they've got the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull here for private appointments only. I'm sure someone's going to nick that one day. They're always taking the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull all over the world to various events. Someone's going to nick it at some point. Probably someone who's not. I presume they got security for it. I hope so, anyway. 10:30, 12:05. Andrew Collins' workshop. Carhan Tepe. Well, we just Mark from the Crafty Nihilist has just been there. Oh, right. 12:30. Daniel Sheehan. Oh, blimey. Well, what am I going to have to miss to go and see that? John Milton, Way of Nature. It's getting a bit tiring holding this. I'll try and do the rest with OBS. One sec. Oh, greetings and salutations, friends. We are back. I'm not Stephen Gabriel, but I am back on OBS. Now, there's a couple of things I should point out. So I'm constantly sipping from a glass of water because I've got the same problem I had in Las Vegas: dry throat and sore at the back of my nose. The reason for that is dry air. As I said with Vegas, I'm not used to it. I'm a sort of like moist air Welshman. I'm used to coming from Wales and then from England. I'm used to sort of like lots of rain and moist air. But I'm constantly sipping from this. It relieves it a bit. Another thing I should point out is my voice will sound different because there's two microphones on here. There's the audio input capture and there's the auxiliary mic feed, which I can't get rid of. I don't know how to. I've been to the properties. There's no disable function on it at all. So my voice is sort of echoey at the moment. I know that. I can't help that. So I'll just enunciate very clearly, and hopefully that will do the trick. Okay, guys. So yeah, Danny Sheehan. Now I've just looked who I have to miss for that, and it's unfortunately Travis Walton. That's not something I like doing. because Travis is a great guy. He's a hero, and I don't want to miss him, but I'm going to have to. I've heard Travis's story before, Danny Sheehan. I've heard Travis's story before, but Danny Sheehan, the details of the 2004 UFO Control Disclosure Act is very, very important. 2:30 to 4:05. It's the Yvonne Smith workshop. Am I that T or Nick Pope? Asked me anything. Right. Well, it's going to be Nick Pope. Nick Pope is somebody. As I said, I'm an opponent of his, but I like to keep an eye on what he's up to. Who do I have to miss though? That's the thing. I mean, Is this not unconditional? There are exceptions. Who am I missing to go and see Nick Pope? 2:30. Here we go. Linda Mottenhouse. No way. I'm not missing Linda for anything. Linda is a sincere, absolute brick, and I'm not missing LMH for anything. So Linda comes first. Linda comes before Nick Pope, definitely. And then we have this is going to be interesting. 4:03 to 6:05. They've done this deliberately. This is like the Battle of the Titans. This is the Rangers versus Celtic. This is the Oxford United versus Swindon Town thing here. Richard Dolan workshop, Steve Bassett workshop. You can go to one, but you can't go to both because they're on at the same time in different places. You know me, it's got to be Steve, hasn't it? Definitely Steve. Oh God, I tell you what, these two guys are going to be fighting now to see who gets the most people in their audience. Obviously, I'm going to Steve's without question. Not only do I have very different personal feelings for the two men, I'm very fond of one and I despise the other. But I think Steve's take is actually better than Richard's, even though Richard Dolan, to be fair, despite personally not liking him, I think he's got he's a very good researcher. He's got a very good take on things. And if these two were actually in series instead of in parallel, I would probably I'd make an effort to see both. USO's a statistical analytical breakdown. Darcy Weir will probably be in that one. And then we have 6:30 to 9:05. This is a long one. Oh no, 8:05. Sorry, Thomas Jane and Stephen Bassett workshop, Hollywood and UAP. So that's going to be good. Alexis Books workshop, traversing the realms and synthesize extraordinary encounters. No, it's got to be Steve again. Night vision experience, paid special event, off-campus Skywatch excursion. Right, now I'm not going to go to that. I'm not going on any outings in this particular one. I can't really top the one I did at Stairway. And then party time again. Saturday, June the 1st. Here we go. Right. They have the usual in the morning, and then 8:30 to 10:05. UAP disclosure, the current state of affairs. Oh, yes. Steve, Richard Dolan, Danny Sheehan, Tracy Garbett Dolan, Ron James, Ryan Wood, Ross Waxman. Oh, God, I've got to go to that. I've got to go to that. Yvonne Smith lecture. The abduction experiences. Messages from the others. That sounds interesting. Jason Martell, Ancient Astronauts. Those who came from heaven. Right. And Sarah Brexman. Cosmo. Oh, no, well, anyway, I don't think anything could top this. This is like a panel on UAP disclosure, or UFO disclosure, as I still call it. Then we have an experiencer host, Jay King, at 10, if you want to go to that. Then 10:30 to 12, using science and technology in search of truth. Clyde Lewis, Mark D'Antonio, Adam Curry, Caroline Corley, Anthony Peake, Mitch Randall, Richard Geldrich. Richard Dolan lecture, more move, counter move, the disclosure chess game. That looks good. Andrew Collins, Göbekli Tepe. All right. As I said, Mark of the Crafty Nihilist went to his tour recently in Turkey. And then we've got the Hertax, JJ and Desiree Hertak. Yeah. Nice one. I haven't seen them since 2008. They were at the Ross Hemsworth Now That's Weird conference in Glastonbury. We've got his special event, Coast to Coast presents George and George, George Malloy, George Knapp, Clyde Lewis, Conversations with Avi Loeb. That looks good. That will be interesting. That will be. Avi Loeb, his stuff, his take, his discoveries are fantastic. Michael O. Sedona lecture, America's False Flag, What Really Happened. Is that maybe to do with 9/11? I don't think I'm going to miss Avi Loeb for that. 2:30 to 4:05, Legends, the pioneers who paved the way. This group of people here. Paul Hynek. It's to do with ufology, obviously, because we've got Paul Hynek, Whitley Strieber, George Norrie, Linda Moulton Howe, Richard Dolan, Travis Bourne, Russell Targ. Russell Targ, like I said, he's actually Hal Puthoff's former colleague in the Stanford Research psychic spying experiments. And these were fascinating. This is a fascinating piece of history if you've not heard it. And it is a long time ago. It's now over 50 years ago, but it's very important because it's to do with Uri Geller and the psychic spies. If you ever seen Third Eye Spies, Danny and Brinkley lecture, Aliens in the Afterlife. That should be good. Kelly Chase lecture, excavating the UFO phenomenon, deconstructing the UFO narrative. Oh my God. I might have to skip the Legends thing for that. That's going to be probably about early ufologists, which actually includes Linda, actually, because Linda is actually one of the last generation of this kind of like golden age of ufology, I think. I don't include Russell Targ in that. I think I'm going to have to see Kelly and have to skip that because Kelly's brilliant. Banquet set up for. Oh, they're setting up the banquet in that room. That's right. Last podcast on the left panel. All right, I've heard them. They're actually quite skeptical, and I don't mind. I don't mind skeptics. Instead, if they're nice skeptics, I don't mind. So I might go and see that. Brad Olson lecture, Giants in Prehistory, Mystery of the Megaliths. That looks interesting. Erica, somebody or other. Multiverse Road Trip, a psychic medium's journey of interdimensional communication and travel. Looks interesting, but I think it's going to have to be last podcast on the left. And then 6:30 to 8:05. Again, these two rooms are being special. That's the annual Speaker Award and Banquet. Special sneak preview, the extraterrestrial species. Ryan Wood lecture. Yeah, I'm going to go to that. I mean, I'm not one for banquets as such. I've got some smart clothes with me, but Ryan Wood lecture. Crashed UFOs MJ12. Yeah, got to go to that. Alexis Brooks, and there's a Earth to Stars Exploring Secret Connection. Yeah, it's going to be Ryan Wood there. And let's have a look at the workshops for Saturday. Jason Quick workshop, Timothy Hogan workshop, Templars Cathedrals. That looks interesting, but I'm not sure I'd miss any of the other speakers for that. Especially because there's the workshop I want to go and see. 10:30 to 12:30. Richard Martini workshop. Shaken, not stirred. How to talk to one's counsel. Michael Schratt. Now that looks interesting. Who would I have to miss to see Michael Schratt? 10:30 to 12:05. I'm tempted to miss Richard Dolan for that, you know. Oh, it's a bit of a toss-up, that one. To see how I feel. And then we have the Turtax here and Alan Seinfeld making contact. Remote viewer. Sarah Brexman Cosme, tap into the quantum field. Right, so the self-holosis. And then finally, Erica, somebody or other, making contact, connection between multidimensional. D. Wallace workshop creation. Clyde Lewis and Matthew James Bailey, the subatomic AI ghost. I don't know. That sounds interesting. Because there's evidence that AI is sort of like done. AI has its own kind of. I've talked about this before with the Loab thing, not Loeb as in Avi Loeb. Loab, this strange monster that has appeared in AI. I've talked about that. I did a program on the Third Rail about that. But there's evidence that there's some kind of EVP associated with AI. Caroline Corey, rest to your past and remote view your future self. That sounds interesting, but I'm not sure I'd miss. We'll have to miss. Last podcast on the left. Yeah, I think I'll go to the last podcast on the left for that. And then we have the dining hall again, and then we have 6:30 to 8:05. Mitch Randall and Richard Geldrich, citizen scientists, new era of UFO knowledge through data. Danny and Brinkley, what dying teaches you about living. I know his story, but it's interesting, but I'm not sure I'd miss a speaker for that. Usual in the morning. Then this is on Sunday, I believe. Yes, Sunday, June 2nd. Experiences face to face. Adam Apollo lecture, Starfleet, gamifying planet transformation, Dr. Pascal Michael, playing the skeptic, the psychology of alien abduction, Always interesting what skeptics have to say. Serena Wright, Douglas Taylor. Puerto Rico, an extraterrestrial gateway. That looks good. I'll probably go to that one, actually. That looks very good. 103012, on ancient archaeology. Yeah, that's Hertax, Timothy Hogan, Andrew Collins, William Henry. Thomas Jane lectures, When Worlds Collide. Nick Pope lecture, disclose or not to disclose. I've probably seen Popey there, I think. Paul Smith, remote viewing and UFOs. I'll see Nick Pope at that point, unless there's a workshop I particularly want to go to. 1230 to 205, ufology, from the flying saucer to the UAP. Yeah, oh look, Bassett, Danny, Nick Pope, Linda, Richard, Michael Schreiber. Yeah, I'll probably go to that. Robert Edward Grant lecture, Advanced Mythical Science of the Pyramid. Tracy Garbutt Dolan, Living the Silence, Abduction. Yeah, Mitch Randall, Disclosure of Information. Yeah, I'll go to this one, definitely. The first one. Then live podcast on the left. 2:30 to 4:05. Hollywood Disclosure. Oh, this is going to be interesting. That's Hollywood Disclosure Alliance is a new thing that's just come out. I'll tell you more about it when I hear more about it. But we've got a number of people here. Kim Carlsberg lecture. That might be interesting. She was interesting at Stairway, I thought. Dwayne Ollinger, Conversations with Captain from Jarrett's. Richard Martini lecture, Hacking the Afterlife. Bypassing filters on the brain. That's kind of like mediumship, I think. 4:30 to 6:05, Enlightened Principles for AI. James Bartley, Anthony Peake, J.J. Hertak. Danny Sheehan, a review of the recent history and present status of UFO disclosure. Yeah, I've got to see that, definitely. Clyde Lewis, Godhead Machinery, Do Aliens Dream of Synthetic Sheep? Adam Curry lecture, Making Psychic Mechanics Robots Later. And then we have here 6:30, 8:05. Saturday night shindig party setup. Movie. Oh, this is Darcy Weir's film, which I've seen. I would like to go and see that. I suppose it's polite to go and see that because Darcy, I've interviewed him so many times. But can I miss Steve Bassett for that? Role of the media in the disclosure process. Sorry, Darcy, I'm not sure I can miss Steve for that. I'll see how it goes. Ron James, Beyond Accidental Truth. UAP, The Nature of Reality. And then there's A Cinema Under the Stars. Are We Alone? Rose Lawn. That sounds interesting. Scavenger Hunt. Sunday Shindig. Live music. Interdimensional Sound Bath. CE5 session. Right, 9 o'clock to 12 a.m. Host Michael Mazzola and Serena DC. But where is his royal muscliness? Oh my God, these people are breaching my copyright because I'm a messiah. I'm just a humble country doctor from North Carolina, but I am your God. Yes, his royal holy greerness won't like that. Sunday, here we go. Sunday. Right, this is Sunday. This is the Sunday workshops. George Knapp. Spooks, Liars, Swamp Chaser sounds good. Swamp Gassers, Jason Martell, Gods of Sumo. Right, what do I have to miss for that? 8:30. No, I might miss the skeptics for that, Dr. Pascal Michael. I might miss that. Sorry, no, it's the Puerto Rico thing. I might miss the Puerto Rico thing for that. Linda Moulton Howe workshop, bismuth, magnesium, aluminium, metal skins, wedge-shaped UFO. That sounds good. Paul Hynek. Definitely it's Linda over Paul, but what do I have to miss? 10:30. No, I'm going to have to see Nick for that. I upstaged Nick for Linda last time, but yeah, I've got to see Nick for that. I've got to see Nick, sorry. But like I say, I really like Linda and her stuff. Anthony Peake workshop, 12:30 to 2:05. NDEs, OBEs, alien abduction. Right, that'll be interesting. I'll have to ask him some. I have a lot to say in the Q&A about that. But what do I have to miss? 12:30. Ufology. Oh, I don't think I can miss that. Can I miss that for Anthony? Oh, tricky. There's so many dilemmas in this. Brad Olson workshop, Hidden Anomalies of Antarctica. That might be interesting. Paul Smith. Yeah, that's 2:30. What do I have to miss? Hollywood disclosure. Oh, God, you know, yeah, I might go to that workshop, actually. I might go to that workshop. Whitley Strieber, Close Encounter Communication, Lisa Garr, Outer Edge of Consciousness from NDEs. That might be interesting, but it's 4:30. What do I have to miss for that? No, I'm not missing Danny Sheehan for that. And finally, 6:30 to 8:05. Matthew James Bailey, Adam James Workshop. Those I don't really interest me much. Monday, right. Usual thing in the morning, then Atlantis, 8:30 a.m. to 10:05. Michael Mazzola and Serena DC. This is not a hoax. The Nazca alien mummies review. Oh, they are a hoax. They are. I think they are. But I will go to that. I'd love to be proved wrong. I really would love to be proved wrong on that. Stephen Bassett intensive. Stephen Bassett is always intense. The most important decade in the state of human story. Richard Dolan intensive. Yes, Steve, upstage it again. Andrew Collins intensive. Brad Olson intensive. They're really creating a cage fight here between Bassett and Dolan. Daniel Hector, I think Daniel Harari lecture. Why I think my father was involved in UFOs for the military. That looks interesting. Then 12:30 to 2:35. Anthony Peake intensive. Philip K. Dick UFOs. That's interesting. That'll be interesting. Linda Moulton Howe intensive. Why do ETs deceive? That sounds interesting. I'd probably go and see Anthony instead of Linda on this case. Whitley Strieber, personal contact. Jason Quit, Egyptian postage of power. Katie Page, Rocky Mountain Ranch, UFOs or government cover-up. Both, Katie. It's both. And then there's the private CITD integration intensive with Eric Rankin. That means, look, no later than 1 p.m. return by 4. That means it's an outing. It's an excursion. Earl Grey, Anderson, the Grey Files. No, I prefer just simple breakfast tea, thank you. But I might go and see that. Adam Apollo intensive. Jedi training. Daniel Sheen intensive. No, I've got to see Daniel. Yeah. Yvonne Smith, hypnotic regime. Right, and I think that is it. And finally, Goodbye Gathering, 7 p.m. What's here? Accidental Truth next. Sneak preview. That might be interesting. All right, guys. So that is. I've got a lot of choice, a lot of dilemmas, a lot of what am I going to go and see. It's something I've got. I might change my mind about the few of the things I've said here, but God blimey, there's so much to come up in the next few days, and it's like it's like almost 5. It's 4.5 days, man. 4.5 bloody days. Oh God, yeah. This looks like the conference I've been wanting to go to my whole life. Yeah, it's good. I should point out though that they're not perfect. I mean, it may have changed since then, but there was an incident with Jordan Sather when he spoke here that they kind of lost his recording, which of course they didn't. Luckily, someone bootlegged it. There was someone in the audience with a microphone. So, yeah, thank those people, because sometimes they're lifesaver. There was this young woman in the audience who recorded it privately, and she wasn't going to distribute it. She just recorded it for her own enjoyment or education. And when they lost Jordan's recording, he talks about it on his channel. She contacted him and said, "No, look, here it is." So she gave him the audio, and he's put his slides up. So you can watch Jordan Sather's lost recording if you want, and it's really good. I mean, he talks about the 17th letter, things like that. I think even this was before this was before the incident at the Capitol in Washington. So, but even then, the whole Q thing was very controversial. As you know, I am open to the Q thing, and I'm positive about it. But yeah, I suppose that makes me some sort of evil skinhead. Well, I'm a skinhead, but you know what I mean. But so I don't know if it's the same management now. Obviously, I condemn any act of censorship by the management of Contact in the Desert. But like I said, the people running it now may not be responsible for that, and so I don't blame them if they're not. I've actually just been editing what I've done today, the videos I've done today, as a kind of like backup. Also, I mean, I will possibly use this in the final cut for the video, which is going on YouTube and other platforms, if the quality is good enough. But I'm using the free new movie maker project, the free new movie maker function on here, which is not as good as the old. I wish what they've done to Movie Maker is literally, it's an ultimate example of fixing things that aren't broken. I should point out this, you may hear some noise in the background, it's the air conditioning unit there. This hotel is probably older than it looks, I would say. I mean, the architecture, I was talking about the architecture last night, about how like many of the buildings in this town, it seems to be a kind of like strange kind of brutalist look, has a look to it. You know, the big thick walls and things, but that might actually be simply a constraint of the climate, because you see the same thing, you see an adaptation of this kind of architecture and design in the Middle East, where buildings tend to be very bulky and have small windows. They have very thick walls, small windows, and the reason is because they need to keep the interior cool. So the thick walls are designed to prevent the penetration of solar heat, which is considerable in the Middle East, and the small windows again prevent the solar sunlight and solar thermal energy getting into the building. As a result, traditional Middle Eastern houses and other buildings are very cool inside. Even in the days before air conditioning, they would be very cool inside. They'd cool down in the night and they'd stay cool all day. Even today, since air conditioning was invented, those architectural styles have stuck. If you look at modern houses in Dubai, for example. But I've got a feeling this is older than it looks. So it could be that despite the slightly modern look, this may well date back many decades. This particular building. I'll ask actually reception about how old this hotel is. The reason I'm saying that is because, firstly, that thing is bloody noisy. Now it doesn't. Now some people on TripAdvisor were saying that this hotel has very noisy aircon. Now, obviously, like in this climate, I think it's more comfortable to be cool and have noise than have no noise and be too hot, because it'll get very hot in here otherwise. But because the windows are bigger than the ones in the Middle East, but I would say that. There's other reasons for thinking this building might be older. Firstly, I'll give you the full room tour in a minute, and you'll see the slightly dated look of this room, especially in the bathroom. That could be designer, but it's possible it is just simply very old. Also, the plug sockets seem to be very old. That one over there doesn't work. I had my laptop set up over there. You see my glass there on the table where I was filming the last segment. I had it plugged in, and I thought, oh good, it's plugged in, because I've got my adapter there, you see. And suddenly I got a warning alert saying the battery was almost flat. And I said, oh, and I've got this thing bloody plugged in. The plug it's sort of come loose, and the plug had sort of fallen out a little bit. And you see that light over there is run from the same socket. It doesn't have a separate like wire, and even though it's built into the wall, and you get the same thing. It's like it flickers when you knock it. It flickers, light flickers. So yeah, this is quite an old room, I think. Anyway, I'll do the room tour now. Anyway, the bed, as I said, I can hardly reach the ceiling. Like maybe it's an American thing that everything's just bigger, but the bed is a king size. I'm sleeping on this side, so I can get to the toilet more easily. Nice big mirror here, so I can admire my pretty self. What's inside here? It's almost like a mini bedroom in here. Look at the size. You can't see very well, but look at the size of this. I've got a fridge. I've got a little fridge here. Look. Oh, but what's in here? Nothing. There's nothing in the fridge. No little mini bar or anything like that. Oh, so that's the fridge, which it's not even running. And here's like your TV, which I haven't watched. I mean, I don't want to watch it. American TV, from what I can see, is not very good. Most of the stuff they like is our imports. They love our comedy, Americans, like Red Dwarf, absolutely fabulous, and series like that. They've always loved our comedy, but you know, American sitcoms aren't the best. You know, here's your escape plan there. So if you need to get out of your health and safety stuff. Okay, now this is the bathroom. It's very well. Look, it's very clean and very nice, but possibly this stuff is very old. Look, I love what they've done with the flannel here. Oh, that's sweet. Little soap there. There's a little bar of soap, and there's the flannel. You got. I wonder what these were. They're actually just glasses, and you have your shower cap and soothing lotion. More bog roll. There's your psycho shower, and this is soap, I think. Like it, again, I think it's an American thing. The bath is very shallow and small. You know, I think maybe Americans take more showers than they do baths, and there's some more soap for the bath. Toilet, like in Las Vegas, a lot of water in it. Maybe it isn't. Again, it's an American thing, but the toilet bowls are so full of water. And here is absolutely essential for me, of course, a hairdryer. God help me if I didn't have one of these. Oh. Sorry, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Honest, Your Honour. And here's your sink and that. Now, I do hope I'm not going to... Well, there was a bit of trouble in Las Vegas because the sink half collapsed. I could probably say that now. I'd probably tell you the story now. Anyway, because the sink in my room in Las Vegas sort of half collapsed. Now, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It was. I looked underneath and I could see it was like really, really badly built. There was like the damn... It was made basically from little pieces of wood that had been cut by a carpenter and then glued. There were no nails or screws or anything. It was really, really badly designed, and the sink sort of broke. But it wasn't me that did it. It was like that when I arrived. But I kept it very quiet because obviously I could have got charged for it. But honestly, to be honest, it wasn't. It was just the thing was just really badly put together. But anyway, one piece of when I was there, I was sort of leaning on it just to brush my teeth, just leaning on it very lightly, and I heard this cracking noise, and like a triangular piece of wood dropped out from the bottom onto the floor, and I thought, oh my God, what was that? Anyway, I disposed of the body. I put it in my bag, and I threw the little triangular piece of wood into a bin at some point. A little public bin when no one was looking, so because the bastards would have charged me for that, even though it wasn't my fault. I've actually had to, as I said earlier, you know, I brought my bank card because I don't like carrying that around with me, but I bought it along with me because they say guests have to provide it, and the reason they have to provide it is because they charge you £150 deposit on this room, $150 rather, and if you and if anything goes missing or broken, you know, you get charged. So I'm like tiptoeing around here. I'm literally tiptoeing everywhere. I hope they're not dishonest enough to try and blame me for things I didn't do. You know, like I was scared they might try and do that at the Las Vegas hotel to get money out of me. But they didn't in the end. And after bloody, how long's it been? Since Las Vegas, 6 months. They're probably not going to pursue me now. But anyway, there's more. I mean, like you have your what you think are complimentary bottles of water. Enjoy your stay. $3. Those are going to stay right there. I'm not even going to dare touch these these cups. I'm not even going to unwrap these paper cups just in case someone tries to charge me a couple of bucks for it. So I'm going to try and now this again. These slats, this Venetian blind thing here, they don't stay. You put them up like that, they don't stay. There's no mechanism where you make. This one does, you see, so you get light, and these two do, but these ones don't. It's not the end of the world. Anyway, guys, it's now fully. I might go for a little walk before breakfast, have a look around, and then the conference begins properly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Very much indeed, but breakfast first. I'll just see if the others are awake. It's on 30% now. I've been thinking of maybe uploading these backup segments onto other social media apart from YouTube as sort of like a running commentary, but I've decided against it for two reasons. The first reason is that it won't be as good quality. I won't get the chance. It won't be as good as the experience as watching it with all the editing that I do, and I can only really do at home, including the use of titles and things like that. Secondly, there'll be kind of two-tier viewership, so my Facebook followers will like to get to see it before my YouTube followers, and I don't like that. My YouTube subs and my Facebook followers and my friends and my Twitter followers are all equal, I think. I don't want to favour some over others, because I know there's not always an overlap between those people who I interact with. And the third reason is some of the things I have to say, and in fact some of the things I've already said about Contact in the Desert, even before I've even been to it, are not complimentary. I have my criticisms of the event, and no doubt I will have more. And I don't want them to see that when you know, while I am basically there. I want them to see it afterwards and say, "What? That bloke was at our conference, bastard! Wait till next year." And of course, by next year they'll have calmed down, things like that. So I don't want I don't want to cause some kind of kerfuffle while I'm actually at the event. I want to cause a kerfuffle afterwards. That's basically it. So what I'm going to do is I might upload them to my private video group for. There's only a handful of members to that. Simply, maybe just because those people I think are sort of my closest friends, and also safekeeping, so that I have a backup copy in case for any reason I lose the files on my what I have now. And I'll also back it up with a file share as well, which I have like a 10-day file share thing, which I'll back it up with that too. And things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Of course, so if I did like publish it, it would be better. It would be more secure. But you know, I'm taking steps to make it secure anyway. Now this is interesting. I got this. I got this from the airport, and it says here they put it in this bag and they sealed it. They like put a sticker across it. And I was trying to like pull it open to put the receipt inside. They said no, don't do that. Don't do that. It's actually a legal requirement. Do not open alcohol and tobacco purchases until your final destination. I told the lady at the customs, I said, I've got a bottle of whiskey here. She says that's all right. So what I'll do is I think I'll open it now. I'm going to need two hands for this, so excuse me. It seems to be pretty much child-proof. But it's a requirement. Actually, you can't actually, once you've bought them, you have to keep them, and they have to be sealed in this packet. But it's a litre bottle of Jameson's Irish whiskey. Very nice brand. This is a very nice brand indeed, and it is it's got this thing around it to try and keep it safe and damaged. And it was just £20. You bought a litre bottle of that in any shop in Oxford, it would set you back maybe £35–40. Bloody good value. It just goes to show how much of alcohol and tobacco is simply tax. Because Mark got some rolling tobacco for he got like about £20 for like about 3 kilos or something. Really amazing. Just goes to show how much of it is tax, isn't it? So that's why duty-free stuff is so cheap, because the tax is removed. So yeah. Very nice. So I've just messaged Colin on Facebook, and so hopefully he and Mark will be getting up now. Although it's still quite early actually. I don't. The local time here is. Let's just have a look, because my phone insists on staying on British time, so it's at 2:30 in the afternoon, which means it's 6:30 here in Palm Springs or Indian Wells. So yeah, I might go and have a little wander around. They start serving breakfast about now, but I thought I might go and have a little wander around, maybe do some exploring while that video is processing, and then maybe join the other guys for breakfast and prepare for the day ahead. As you can see, we have a swimming pool. Very nice, isn't it? And Colin and Mark have been taking a dip. Although not me. I'm not really, unless someone wants to be naughty and push me in, I'm not really dressed for it. But this is quite good, isn't it? It's nice. Look at all this, and a lovely backdrop as well. Look at the mountains over there. Alright guys, I'm out of the hotel, I'm now heading for the venue. the countdown. There's a countdown clock on the website. When it hit like about 45 minutes, I thought I'm going to go over there. They should start registering us about now. So, I mean, I'm not the sort of type to hang around. I think Colin and Mark are still lounging by the pool. But me, I want to get over there. Got all my things in the traditional plastic bag. Always, one thing I find, when you're going on holidays, bring plenty of plastic bags. Now I'm going to head over across this busy road. That's the highway 111. I'm probably silhouetted quite badly by the sunlight. Sun's very bright today. These trees give a tiny bit of shade, but palm trees are not very shady. And then use the crossing to get over. Look at those high mountains in the distance. It's incredible. It's like being in like a crater on Mars, taken by the Curiosity rover. Amazing landscape here. So I'm going to head over there now. And the breakfast wasn't bad. I had a good breakfast. The people on TripAdvisor who stayed here, who I've been reading, Colin sent me their review, said the breakfast wasn't very good. I thought it was very nice. I mean, there's nothing cooked. Maybe that's what bothered them. But it was a full continental, you know, all toast and croissants and spreads, jam, things like that. Oh, that's enough for me. There's yogurt, there was cereal. Suits me. You know, I did pile it in actually because I had quite a lot, because that may be the only meal I get until this evening, because lunch at there, I imagine, is quite expensive and time consuming. I'll want to be going around the merchandise hall meeting people. I'm bloody excited now. I always get this kind of this thrill when I'm heading for a conference. I was going to wait for Mark and Colin. They can take their time. When I get there, I've got to just go explain who I am and say I'm Johnny Enoch's guest. According to Johnny, there'll be no problems. Johnny unfortunately can't make it. Now, Johnny's been good to us, man. I mean, Johnny let us into Stairways as guests, which meant we didn't have to pay the $400 or whatever it was to get in. So hopefully that will be okay this time, although there was a bit of confusion last time, if you remember. I had to wait outside for about half an hour until it had all been sorted out. But Johnny has assured me that Colin and I are still on the guest list despite him not being there. So Johnny's not very well at the moment. I wish him all the best. I hope he gets better soon and he heads off and gets well, but he's decided not to go, which is fair enough if he's not feeling up to it. I've been up, like I said, I've uploaded the first part of my video to my private videos group. That's all I can do right now. The other half is processing. Windows Media Player Free produces very large files. This one I've just produced is 3.5 gigabytes. A bit excessive, I think. And it is boiling hot. I don't know what temperature it is now, but I know when we had breakfast about 2 hours ago, it was already like 28 degrees. It's scheduled to go up to 38 today. So that's about 105 Fahrenheit, I think. Something like that, over 100 anyway. So now we're going to go over the crossing. You can't really cross a road like this without a crossing. There we are, just wait for it to turn white. It's not green, it's white here. And then we've got that little road there. Oh, it is white. There, it's white, man. Very racist stuff, isn't it? So, this is where we went yesterday evening, I showed you. Alright, looks like a countdown. Alright, I'm coming. God, rush across the road. Here we are, it's where it says Esmeralda. Looks different in daytime, doesn't it? God, I'm sweating like a pig. Rhiannon, seriously, you wouldn't like it here. It's a beautiful place, but it's very hot. If you don't like hot weather, it's not the place for you. Hopefully everyone's... I haven't seen anyone I know yet. At the hotel, I met a couple of people who were going there. There was a couple of people at breakfast who were going there, including... There was no other Brits. Well, there was one British lady, but she's lived in Canada for the last 10 years. And I think so... But no one with the first person from Britain, although Ian is going there. Ian, the assistant of Linda Moulton Howe, he's going. So we should see him over there. We arrived quite late last night, but he's staying at the venue. Bit of a disappointment. I've got a friend, a local, someone I know in the area who I said should come along, can't. It's a friend of mine from Fresno, which is about 100 miles north of here. 100 miles sounds like a long way to a British person. It's not to an American. But she can't make it, unfortunately. I mean, to be honest, she didn't guarantee it. But I was hoping she should come in. She's someone I know very well online. I've never met, but I'd like to meet. But she can't make it, unfortunately. There you go, how these things happen. She did say she may not be able to. So, right now probably everyone's gathering. I'll be a bit early, but that's good because you get to meet people in the registration queue, which is fun. You know, if there's any problems, I just have to do what I did last time, wait for Colin and Mark to come along. We might have to give Johnny a call. It did happen last time, you know. I'll get in there. I mean, if necessary, I'll buy a bloody ticket. It'll be at $300, but I'll go without dinner or something for the rest. I'll go without a meal or two for the rest of the week. I don't mind. There we are. Just going to head in there now, and we're going to see who else is there.